viewers. It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. God, there's so many things to take care of immediately. First, we have spontaneously achieved the Golden Kappa hype train, which I still don't fully understand. But I am to understand that it doesn't happen, and that for 5,000 years it didn't, and then it's happened twice in my lifetime, and once on my sister's stream. It's quite a lot. Secondly, it is contemporarily VIP user the British Sneko's birthday here in the United States, even though it's technically chronologically a different day over there in the UK. But it is important that we celebrate it through the time
Did
vortex.
someone say birthday?
Because if we didn't celebrate a birthday through the time vortex, it really wouldn't be in the spirit of the THEM, the temporal home for enlightened mariachis, of whom we celebrate by acknowledging every single birthday mention. Vasco the Gamer video game computer show. I know that you just spontaneously generated this. Your adherence to the bit pleases and amuses me. Ocean says, I think this is 3 for 3 for him in under a year with under 1%. I mean, it's really hard for me to evaluate what exactly 1% means in the context of streaming. Like, because it's not like it would happen once every, like, 100 streams that you do, right? Because, like, in the scheme of things, if you stream on a regular basis, like, that's not that unlikely. Like, it has to be something more complicated. Hang on, we've received... Oh, that's right. We get the golden kappa. That's fun. Well, hi, hello, and welcome. We did a formal intro. We did a panicked intro. I like to think that I was blessed by the nonsense of, like, while the computer just needed some time to sort itself out, I got a notice that Addison Rae was, like, streaming from Coachella, and I was like, I can put this on and this won't be distracting. And it really was. But I was having quite the experience with that. I consider myself in the relatively high percentage of Addison Rae fans, and I have to tell you that every video I've seen of a live performance of her is a glorious mess. But I have to think that somehow incorporates with defying the odds on the old golden kappa there, huh? So how does that work? Do people who are in the golden kappa hype train have the ability to use that anywhere for 24 hours, or does it work in this chat for 24 hours? Okay, it's the former. Okay, that makes more sense. You get to be so annoying for 24 hours. Ahoy Cotillion, welcome. You've just missed the conclusion of our nonsense golden kappa hype train Mark II. I imagine people will be annoying about that. That is your right for defying the odds, huh? Okay, and Neko has locked in, I guess. Let me just clock that where that was. It's birthday guess. You finished baking your birthday cake a few hours ago, Neko? I don't think I saw you mention what it was. What type of cake is it, if you're still here even? You said you slept for 16 hours, but then it sounded like you had places to be, so I'm not sure if you're around. Okay, Lilith Vulpix. Okay, it's so big. Look at how big it is, and it doesn't show up in Chatbox because that's just not what Chatbox do. That's not how it works. Okay, so I don't know. I feel mentally unprepared to be playing this game. It was a lot yesterday, and I ended up spending most of my free time today just like reading a bunch of One Piece. And I gotta tell you that there's nothing that like makes you disconnect from reality more than reading like a huge amount of like One Piece backstory in one shotgun blast. The preponderance of critical backstory and flashbacks in the large scale timeline of One Piece is so mystifying and amusing to me. Cool. anyone? How's everyone doing today? It's Saturday. That's fun. If you work a traditional 9 to 5, you didn't work today. That doesn't apply to everyone, but it's the lack of work is good work if you can get it, I think. Um, I did mention yesterday. I don't know how many of you all have seen like the first Mario movie or the second. The second one I think was technically called the Super Mario Galaxy movie or something very similar to that. Um, I like the first one a lot. I feel like it exceeded my expectations because they were fairly low. I like the second one pretty good, but I feel like it was closer to my original expectations. So I didn't think it was like as extraordinary as the first one. Um, without anything specifically spoilerific, which it says I've heard A for one, B minus for two. I think that's fair. I think two, your mileage will vary more than the first one. I think the first one's like a good solid A. I think the second one probably ranges a little bit more because like my main criticism of it is that like I do feel like it leans a little more heavily on like nostalgia and Nintendo in jokes to do heavy lifting in a way where like it was sort of a garnish in the first one, and in the second one it felt like there were times when it was sort of like the whole point of this scene is this thing that's not important to the plot, but like man, if you like Super Mario Brothers 2, which like isn't even like technically a Super Mario Brothers game by like strict Japanese canon, then like you'll enjoy this reference, you know. I did like it. I think if you like Mario and you like the first one, it's probably worth a shot. I don't think I would recommend it as strongly as the first one if you're on the fence, but there you go. Do you think the mystery person who is in the trailers being in two is a launch pad for their next game? I have heard rumors that that is the case. Uh, I heard something after seeing that character appear in the movie that suggested they are doing something with that character, which would please me because that is one of the that's one of my favorite Nintendo properties of all time, and I think it is deeply, profoundly underserved considering how successful it was in its heyday. Hello, Funny Godmother. Hi, welcome to Saturday. Well, it's been Saturday for some time, unless you're in a really particular part of the world, and I missed that memo. Um, Also, marketing ruining surprise like that is very annoying. Yeah, I thought that was a weird choice. I managed to get pretty close to the movie without finding out about that, but like I heard about it like a day before I saw it, and I saw it like 3 days after it came out. So I don't know. That seemed crazy. That seemed like a weird thing to do. I'm generally not a fan of marketing doing stuff like that, but like your mileage will vary. Delusion having a lot of fun doing what I have described as quote being very annoying about the Golden Kappa, which is not an actual criticism of the behavior. I think it's just what you do. Um, yeah. So yeah, like to be honest, without doing spoilers, I suppose there's not all that much I could talk about with the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but there's my spoiler-free rundown on it. Definitely a fun time. I think you'll tend to enjoy it more if you're like dialed into like Mario pretty hard and or like a big general Nintendo fan. I didn't think that the story held up as much without the help of like Nintendo references as we got the first time around, but like, good shot you might still enjoy it, especially if it's something that like seemed like you would like it in the first place. Uh, my sister, funny godmother, Chad says I've already recorded someone else's podcast, taught an MBA final class, final the first draft of episode 7 of my podcast, and move a prescription across states. Yeah, so that's like literally just like a standard day for my sister who does all the things. Isn't that like an Ali Brosh comic thing? Like do all the things. Student podcast I was on, one of them was like, I bought Narnia GBA this week. I mean, I don't want to get all up on my soapbox spontaneously about this thing, but like, if you are a longtime viewer of the stream, you probably know this about me, that like, and I feel like I talked about this like yesterday or on like a very recent stream. I feel like I've talked about this recently, but like, I am kind of old fashioned when it comes to video games. I know that like, uh like free to play models and like certain other like modern, like very modern business models for games like definitely serve a function and like are very popular and like do good things. But like, I have a tendency to like a game that you can like buy, how long ago did that come out? Like early 2000, like 20 something years ago. And like, you get the same experience now that you did then. Like, there's something that I think is really cool about that. Like, does that mean that there's not room for other stuff? No, but like, I think that's a great thing about video games. I like that. I wish that that felt like a more consistent option nowadays, but that's because I'm old. 2005. That's a little later than I would have thought, but that sounds about right. Classic games are having a legit comeback. I mean, I feel like they're frequently cycling, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like, I don't. It is interesting to think how like games beyond a certain age will be treated as they become less and less familiar to like the current generation of young gamers, right? Because my experience is really grounded in being like one of the first generations to have like home video game console experiences. And so like, it's a little hard for me to understand and appreciate like what it's, I mean, like Mario's kind of a great example, right? Like, Mario's been around for like a jillion years. We won't put an actual number on it because I don't want to turn into dust and blow away, but like, Mario's been around town, and people still love Mario. He just got a movie like last week. And like, it has a ton of references in it to like Mario stuff from the past that like, if you're not like my contemporary, you may not know a lot of those. So it's interesting. Said so many people self-identify as not gamers because the culture is so exclusionary. That's, yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, like, it is a little bit interesting to consider what the label of gamer means. Obviously, it means different things to different people, but like, I think there's definitely something worth considering and exploring in the concept of like, what is gamer, and like the positives and negatives of that. But stuff like Gamergate like definitely had like an impact on culture, and I think definitely impacted people's perception of what it means to be gamer. Oh, did you see Mario Galaxy 2? Super referential, but Dave liked it and has played non Mario. See, that's a great litmus test. Has he really played like truly non Mario, or just like vanishingly small Mario? Because like, I have a close friend who had basically played non Mario until he got married to someone who like loves Mario, and then she and I like got him to play like some Mario. So he has now played like a very small amount of Mario, but I think he has liked the Mario he has played for the most part. Truly non Mario. It's impressive. I mean, I think Tech had played like not technically non Mario, but like effectively non Mario. Like, so little Mario he like didn't remember or know anything about Mario, and that was like until like we were like doing Renegade Constabulary stuff. At which point we played some Mario. um, Honestly, surprising we got married. I think that shared Mario knowledge is like a really important like thing to put on like the dating profile, for example. I don't know, for like a long time, like, I don't even know if this holds up the same way it used to, but like, I used to have these discussions with like people when I was in like high school and college, where I was like, I feel like I had felt like Pokemon was important enough to me that I was like, I have a hard time imagining that like I could have like a serious relationship with someone who like knew absolutely like had none appreciation at all for Pokemon. And for a while, I like literally called this the Squirtle test, and it was like, if you can't name Pikachu and like Eevee, like, and you're like anywhere in a similar age range to me, like I don't know what you are. I don't know what you're doing over there, but like if you have like some familiarity beyond that and can name like some well-known Pokemon that aren't the most well-known Pokemon, then like that's probably sufficient. Oh, that's true. He watched you play Paper Mario on stream. That's fair. I remember when that happened. You should be able to name 10 Pokemon. Like that's probably like not an unreasonable benchmark, but like this is all profoundly hypothetical because like when's the last time like I met a human that wasn't like that accursed like Magic the Gathering experience that like I sacrificed an entire stream to complain about because it was so heinous. My sister says I never had to worry about should they know Pokemon because the first three guys I dated all went massive Pokemaniacs on me. So I just assumed it's a timing problem if they don't know Pokemon. Like, I definitely have known of people who like basically knew none Pokemon, even people who were like in the same like age range as me, which meant that like they were like alive for the true original zeitgeist of the introduction of Pokemon. Echo says, "Oh my god, dude! Literally silent as the grave around here all day. As soon as the Vasco da Gamer video game computer show comes on, everyone wants to show up and check in all of a sudden. You should just tell them all to watch Addison Rae live from Coachella if that's even still happening, which at this point, like, probably isn't. Come to VascoCon. I don't think VascoCon like solves the specific problem I reference. I understand that that's probably not the energy with which that comment is offered. Mm, is there a VascoCon macro? What there is that my Discord has been planning a convention in like New York, the greater New York City area. I don't know exactly where. Uh, like I'm a little unclear as to what exact. It's very interesting. It's a unique life experience that's happening. Just New York City and Brooklyn. I mean, I consider that largely the greater New York City area, although frankly, I don't know New York City very well. Sago says, I'm still not clear on whether or not VascoCon is real or a meme. I'm pretty sure it's real, but to be honest, I continue to be a little uncertain. We'll be in Florida that week. Do I know about this? You don't have to tell me more about that. I don't. Listen, it's very hard for me to keep up with your schedule because like I can't even get stuff done around the house. Um, as demonstrated to my mom today when I was like, "There's a weird thing in my house. Can you make sure it's not dangerous?" And then like I showed her, and then I was like, "And here's all the like pretend me like cleaning up my house I did." And she was like, pat me on the back and gave me a gold star, and then said I was special and handsome, which didn't literally happen, but if you know my mom, like figuratively happens every time I'm around her because she's the internet's mom. Hi, mom. Uh, you don't got a free ticket to a gaming convention in Orlando at Universal. That sounds rad. That sounds like a good time and probably like a good experience. Gaming convention in Orlando at Universal is extremely relevant to my interest. It really is. It's like at no like that amount of information. I don't have to ask any additional questions. By the way, I think I went like the whole yesterday stream having like accidentally bumped my microphone at some point, so it was like faced a little away, like a little more away from me than normal, and so like I'm just like a little quiet and no one mentioned it. I don't think it was enough to be a huge deal, but like it did make the edit for last night's stream a little janky. Probably also fine. Didn't notice over the music. I mean, that in and of itself is kind of the issue, but like, I'm just gonna try and be a little more audible. That's fine. See, look, there's my mom proving my point. She's not a paid actor, just my mom. Um, That's probably enough nonsense. Man, I feel like gross all day. This is annoying as a streamer forever. There's no good way to know when things are janky. It's really tough. Like the only like quote unquote surefire way to like be sure that everything is fine before you go live would be to take the like insane measure of like getting, I don't even remember the name of it. There's some sort of like test like Twitch key you can generate to like do a functional stream that like only you will see, but then you would have to like generate like a new like Twitch key that is like a real key after. I think you have to like change it after you do that. You would at least have to like put it into your like streaming software of choice. You'd have to like cycle it twice. You would have to like put in the test code and then put in a real code. And like it's just so easy for that to be like stupid. Never noticed anything go wrong unless the stream completely cuts out. That's wild to me. But then again, I'll say that I mentioned like briefly yesterday that like I've been a little more on Twitch myself recently, and like the big reason for that is I was like trying to see if I could find like a streamer in the like Pokemon Champions category that like I would be interested in having on as background to like learn a little bit more about the game. And I found like a few streamers who were okay, but like none of them. Oh, what's going on the second monitor? Hey, gang, what happened on the second monitor? It went black for a second. I don't think anything broke, but it was really stressful for a second. I didn't like that. And you know, like it's a dog and pony show over here on the Vasco da Gamer video game computer show, as we all know. But like, I don't know. The thing I found, I'm not trying to be super critical of any of these people. I'm obviously not going to name any of them, but like I tried like maybe a half dozen people to watch for it. And like the thing I found is just like there was like a really low ceiling of personality demonstrated. It was like just a question of like how much technical knowledge was demonstrated in the streaming of the game. And it's like that's all fine and good, but I'll be honest with you, Wolf Glick exists. And if all I wanted was like skill information in watching content about this game, I would definitely start with world champion Wolf Glick. And to be honest, he has more personality than these other people also. So like, you know, I guess what I'm saying is Wolf Glick is great and everyone should love him, but no one should accost him at live events because that made him sad and he stopped going to them, and that's a bad thing to have happened. The other option is to record yourself before you stream, but that's time consuming. I mean, like that's like a half step down of complication from the thing I'm suggesting, but like it's very similar and it is time consuming and it sucks. Like yeah, you could do like an offline test just recording all of the elements together and make sure that they sound right and whatever, but like it's pretty similarly stupid to be honest. Okay, thank you for the sub. 104 months. Arcadia says, I failed my Greek mythology test. That subject really is my Achilles elbow. I think you've shared that one before, but I don't know what game context it was because I don't think it was Stray Gods. How often am I doing Greek god content? Anyway, it's a great excuse to stop the malarkey and go over to the malarkey screen. And we will do, I think if we just do, yeah, okay. As long as we don't save the settings, we can back and we don't have to mess with the slightly janky slider. Yeah, so Stray Gods. Listen, a lot happened toward the end of the last stream, and the game really fired like I don't know 4 or 5 cutscenes at me back to back, and like there wasn't like a lot of good opportunities to try. Zeus did not provide me an opportunity to save, I guess is what I'm trying to tell you, which is my favorite old school God of War joke that I will drive into the ground. That when you would go to a save point, the game would literally every time bring up a pop-up that said Zeus has provided you an opportunity to save, which is like one of the like jankiest like mechanics to like game flavor ratio things I've ever seen in my entire life. But yeah, so I guess I'll give you like the absolute Cliff Notes rundown, because like we did kind of walk in a big circle and end up kind of close to where we started. So our protagonist is Grace. She was like in a high school or a college band. I don't know. I don't actually think I have a clear picture on exactly how old Grace is. She's a young woman in a young band with 2 guys who are not appearing in this game who are roommates. And she befriended a lady by the name of Calliope who, as it turns out, is like, yes, that Calliope. She perished under surprise circumstances, but still transferred the Animorph cube powers to Grace, and now she is a muse and can make her eyes glow, and then do heart songs from Zoe's Extraordinary playlist or whatever. And Grace encountered the chorus, which are like a select subset of Greek gods who are also, yes, those Greek gods, but also, no, not those Greek gods, because the memories and the power and the purview get sort of passed down from generation to generation, assuming something untoward doesn't happen. I don't think I'm going to go into that in detail, because the stream yesterday did that, like, to an almost excruciating degree. So they were sort of like, it's suspicious that Calliope died under suspicious circumstances. We suspect you of crimes. And they were like, gonna kill us outright. And then, like, Apollo was like, no, behold my abs. Do not kill this woman. Let us allow her to do the trial. And the trial is just us investigating the murder of our once and former self, Calliope. And we've not learned a tremendous amount, but we've also not learned nothing. Mainly, we're aware of the fact that she went to this, like, not exactly forbidden, but not exactly on limits location, the Reliquary, where, like, all of the Greek items of legend exist, which will be important later, because that is where we saved the game. But so we know that Calliope went there, we know that she got, like, injured at or around the time she was there. Medusa and the Minotaur both witnessed her injury and her leaving this place, and it's sort of noted that she, like, interacted with something in the Reliquary that, like, tipped off a magical ward of some kind, but, like, beyond that, no one's sure exactly why she went there or what she did. The passage of time in this game is truly baffling. We were given, like, 7 days to, like, figure out what happened to us, and instead we went to the absolute saddest party I've ever heard of, and that's coming from me, someone who's not good at parties and is sad at all parties. And somehow, like, 5 days passed, and then, like, we just woke up one day and we're like, oh shoot, if we don't figure out what's happening, we'll get killed at the trial. It's like that joke I really like from Family Guy, where, like, the dog goes back to college to, like, earn his degree, and, like, when, like, finals are coming close, he's like, I really gotta, like, pass this test. And, like, as a joke, they start doing, like, basically, like, the Rocky training montage, and it's like, at first you think it's a metaphor, and then, like, halfway through it's like a record scratch. It's like, oh my god, why are we doing all this physical activity? Like, I have a test tomorrow, I have to study. So, like, that's basically what happened to us, where we're like, oh shoot, like, we have to, like, figure out who killed Calliope, or I'll be deadified. And then our friend Persephone was like, have you considered going back to the Reliquary where you learned nothing before and hoping something is different and learning something instead? And we were like, gee, I guess I hadn't. And also, I've tried nothing and I'm all out of ideas. So we, like, snuck into the Reliquary, and the Minotaur found us immediately because he's a Minotaur. But he's also super Prince Adam, aka the Beast from Beauty and the Beast coded. And he's, like, a nice guy, but he's like, I am gonna have to, like, tell Hecate that you're in the Reliquary because you don't belong here. And we're like, smell you later. And then we just, like, ran away. And then we were like, if I hallucinate really hard, maybe the ghost of my former self will tell me what she did here. And then her spirit led us to a place in the Reliquary where all the cool stuff is in a big pile. And we're either about to learn something or not, but we'll probably get caught in the process. You're roughly up to speed. Let's play Strange Gods, Act 2.99999, I think is the stream title, because, like, I really feel like we've crossed over into Act 3 and the game disagrees. Something will be different. Didn't you see the skill upgrade? That's true, we did get a new skill. Wow, what an unceremonious dump into the video game. Yeah, we did. It is true because, like, very close to the end of the stream yesterday, the game was like, why don't you take another skill point? There's only 3 available skill points in the game. I guess you can have 2 of them as a treat. And I really figured that was going to be the act break, if nothing else, but it sure still isn't. So here's a big pile of important stuff. I feel like I in these trying times where I'm literally about to go on trial and be tried, I should allow the reliquary to offer me an egg. Right? And it's still doing that thing where the mouse cursor hops over to the other screen. Don't worry about it. It's a cool egg.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it?
Can the mask just not? It's, I don't love it. I'm not immediately sure I know what the mask is. And what the apple is. I can make an educated guess about the branch. I mean, the scroll could be anything. Even a boat. We'll take the scroll. The statue also feels sufficiently broad considering the popularity of the medium in the times of the Greeks.
Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
Harrison Ford would agree with you. I mean, is this the type of thing where I should, like, try and not choose the option because there's not, like, a time limit on this? Instrument feels like an obvious sort of thing for a muse to try and interact with. Is that supposed to be, Icarus's, like, well, I guess it's technically, like, Daedalus's, like, wing plans?
I don't even know what language that is.
I'll give you 3 guesses, girl. Grace, listen. I just gave you a skill point in intelligence. I'm a little embarrassed, to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but, like, are you sure? Are you sure you couldn't hazard a guess what language that might be? How about the branch? Still got olives on it. They're fresh. They're like extra virgin olive oil.
It's kind of amazing.
Girl will really be amazed by a branch with some olives on it, huh? I get the feeling that this is not the mirror we brought to fight Medusa. But also, to be honest with you, I'm still a little bit miffed with Freddy for being like, I came to help you fight Medusa, and I am, like, your vessel for knowledge about, like, Greek mythology. And also, I didn't think to bring a mirror to fight Medusa. Like, that just... I don't know. Is she the villain? Like, that seems like villain-coded behavior to me. Oh, hang on.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here.
No, wait. Right
she...
here. Got all woobly and became candle wax. Wow, this feels very much like the Sea Ants of Blake Manor, huh? Do you think she had a silent dinner before she came here? And that's why she felt so injured?
Uh-oh.
Let's attempt to talk about this.
I don't suppose there's any chance you'll put those knives away. Okay, then.
Are we gonna have a dance fight? Yes. Perhaps yes.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Do they have the soundproof ability like Mr. Mime? Are these supposed to be the 3 muses, maybe? Because, like, in this world, I think there were only ever 3, right?
Grace?
Is the implication? Because of the implication?
Freddy! We've got to run.
Well,
My powers
maybe
don't
the-
work on them. They just keep coming.
The Fates is an interesting suggestion. There are 3 Fates. They don't give me very Fate vibes, but they're also not, like, explicitly very musy. Can we make Freddy, like, dance fight? Can we use our powers to make her fight super good through the medium of dance?
I won't let you.
Oh, dear. That escalated a bit.
Freddy!
In fairness, that was not Rafiq's finest hour of plans on how to fight the wax knife people. Problem solved?
Oh, God. Oh, God, Freddy.
That didn't go great.
By the gods. You summoned the Furies.
Oh,
What?
okay, the Furies.
Those beings were the Furies. Beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There is only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
That's weird. Does that mean that the Fates are directly, divinely responsible for everything going on and thus are trying to obscure that? Because, like, wasn't Hecate gonna, like, contact them at some nebulous point in the future? I mean, if there's a way to help Freddy, I think that's the first order of Fredsness.
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that.
Journal
This was no
entry. Your
defense
friend
or
is dead
spell
for
of the
real.
reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted.
So the
now is
punishment
when
is
you leave.
killing
Pray
Freddy
the knowledge you
because we're on the
obtained
green
was worth
path?
the price.
But Freddy's probably my main love interest. Probably.
I'm not leaving Freddy. Not like this. All this magic. There has to be something. Don't tell me there's no way to undo this.
Sing a song of being alive again.
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Take her hat, and with it, her powers. That happened so fast, man. That happened real fast. And we did, like, we just... I mean, like... I know my response probably seems a little weird, but it's just like, that just happened so fast, for one. And also, it feels super crazy weird to just be like, I guess I'll just go to bed now. Like, like, that somehow also seems... Like, I felt like we were gonna be like, well, now that the Furies are gone, let's suss out something of value. And it's like, nah, your friend died, go to bed. And also, somehow it's still day 5, which, like, genuinely doesn't make sense. Because wasn't it, like, day 5 before I went to bed, and then when we woke up, the first thing we did was go to the reliquary? Was the sense that I had? We liked and maybe even loved her. That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't know. I feel emotionally complicated. If only Apollo were here to ask me if I was back again. Aw, jeez. I did it. That was it. That was the end of Act 2. The band might even notice this. I'm not sure if
sorry
they'll
it
be
came to
upset,
this,
but they
Grace.
might notice.
It's clear what your friend meant to you.
I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die if anyone paid the price.
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Nah, I gained nothing of interest.
She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
I did not
No
get
doubt
that.
sent by the same person.
I did not get a clear
Perhaps for
sense
the
that that
same
was what had
reason.
happened. But like again, it felt like whatever she was doing was like really intentional. Like she may even have deliberately been trying to call the Furies. Maybe specifically because like she felt like Athena or someone was like trying to break whatever laws invoke the Furies and maybe get them involved or something. Technically, the Eidolon would have gone to Freddy. I mean, if we had died, yeah. Actually, it's you raised kind of an interesting point, right? Because if like we had died, and like the only like suitable vessel around would be Freddy, then like Freddy could potentially be the next Calliope, and like also she's in the same band, so she's clearly like musically oriented. It's not like a completely out of left field thing, but like in addition, there would have been like witnesses to like how the transfer of power happened. So like I think it would like clear the charges, right? Like in the scheme of things, like it would be better for like Calliope for that to have happened in a weird, obtuse way. My sister says working with spirit as human is annoying. Big giant truths, but also like go sleep and hydrate. I mean, I think we all have to deal with the frustration of like living in interesting times, but like having to do biology. Like that stuff sucks, man. Pissing me off. Who can command the Furies? Is there like a headband or something that does
Who
that?
could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
I still have
Clearly someone can
suspicions
do it.
about Zeus.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
What
What
are the Furies?
Furies?
They didn't seem like people.
Think of
At
them
least they weren't the
as
furries. They're way
forces of
scarier.
nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
What are the ancient
There are
laws?
ancient laws now?
Well,
It
there
seems
were.
relevant
Laws
to know.
even the idols had to obey from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still
One of them was
existed
never
and you'd
look in a
broken
mirror.
one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
Wait, funny godmother, you're saying that your spirit guide like literally told you to touch grass? I feel like I would be upset at that messaging. that feels like it's mean spirited, even if literal and good advice. Yeah, let's ask her what Calliope was trying to do. Clearly she knows, right?
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command. Or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Do you think that the Fates are running some sort of like lottery scheme and they're trying to prevent people from figuring out that they're getting rich off the lottery? Why did they
If the
stop?
fairies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
Which was a library book, I think. I feel like that answer, while technically correct, lacks the appreciation of the fact that it is a punishment for Grace for her friend to be murdered. Like, even if the intention was, like, specifically to harm Grace as retribution, like, psychological harm is harm. Are fates that powerful?
These fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
Maybe
They're not known
the
to be
fate's been
vindictive.
imprisoned
If they
or
don't
something?
want to answer, they simply won't.
So hear me out. Maybe the issue is that, like, maybe the Furies respond to... They're like the voicemail, right? You call the fates through the mirror, and, like, you're supposed to get an answer from them, even if they're, like, surly, just like any customer service I've ever called in my entire life. But, like, because, like, someone, potentially Athena, because it seems like it's kind of her purview to, like, run the show and be a busybody about it. Like, maybe she's trying so hard to, like, have control over everything, not for the sake of power, but for the sake of literal, like, control and, like, sort of dominating all the fates and making sure that, or all the idols, and making sure that humanity doesn't rise up again, like, during the Great War. And so, like, she has tried to, like, seize control of the fates in some way, or has prohibited them from overriding her power, or something to that effect. But she's somehow inscribed in something that, like, it is now an old law that, like, you don't interact with the fates, or you get the sharp end of the knife. The Furies will use this knife. It is kind of fun that they all have knives, right? Because the knife thing. Call my phone, I demand blood. I feel like I get that voicemail like 5 times a week minimum in my line.
I'll use this knife.
Thank you for that. But, like, I think that, like, that's like a plausible sounding theory to me. I don't know if it's, like, the answer, but, like, that sounds internally consistent with everything I know.
Someone say birthday?
Did someone say birthday? Birthday knife? Verzacula. Just cuz Verzacula? I mean, like, I feel like... It's funny how often people spend points on Zacula's behalf. Good reeling, thank you. One of my closest friends in high school was a big fan of the stupid novelty, like, one person does the fake fishing line and the other person reels them in. And for some reason, he in particular really liked to... He really got into being reeled in, so, like, by default, when we were messing around, I'd be the reel. Anyway, what a helpful statement. We know nothing, and by knowing nothing, I will be killed. If only we knew more. Yeah, that is sort of the nature of things.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to close off the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
And it doesn't sound like
How
people normally
long
go to
have
the
you been standing
reliquary
there?
regardless.
Long enough. You just had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
Let's not lean into the fighting. What other way?
What's this about some other way? What are you talking about, Persephone?
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not.
I bet it involves his abs.
The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
How did he know she was gonna say this inflammatory? Like, how did he know to show up at exactly the moment she was about to propose this thing that is kind of incendiary? We can overthrow Hades? This seems like a strange question based on the amount of information I have. I mean, I guess I don't specifically know what the state of Hades is, but, like, I feel like the information that's been given to me suggests that, like, Hades is just, like, limbo. That, like, because they didn't deem it just for Persephone to take it over after she killed Hades, maybe based on that, the law they always cite on shows like Law and Order, where it's like, you're not allowed to profit from a crime, so you don't get the money from the crime, even if whatever. Like, it's like, okay, you killed Hades, but, like, you can't also rule Hades. How does one find this throne? I should hope that she would know. I guess in theory. I mean, she was there for like a long time, you know? His abs should have their own VA with how much they steal the scene. But, like, you could say that about, like, all the scenes. Also, hi, Twitch. Hello. I'm going to use my skill point to be cynical about this, because in real life, I think I would use my skill point to be cynical about this.
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
It's not a great sign that you didn't just
Waited
answer
for
the
this
question.
Opportunity for over a century.
Waited, yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
That's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
I have to say, though, it seems suspicious that, like, she's like, now's the time. But, like, now is the time because of, like, really specific circumstances that, like, don't seem like they were very likely to align without assistance, you know? Like, it comes across a certain kind of way, I guess is what I'm saying. How does one find this room? Does one simply walk into Hades? Can you do that?
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might, if you ask them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well? Or to actually help? Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the Fates. It's simple.
It's easy. You name an activity, and I'll explain the rules, and then we'll do that activity. Is it bad that some part of me wants Apollo to, like, kick a chair into Persephone's throat from that famous comic book panel? Do we love backup girlfriend or not? Listen, if I haven't made this clear, I apologize. I'm not like a huge Persephone fan. I'm not as, like, innately suspicious of her as I am of Pan, although I also think that Pan is largely just misunderstood. But, like, I've been pretty much Team Apollo, and the only reason that I've saddled myself with Persephone for an entire act of this game is because, like, I was teamwork, and, like, she seemed like she needed more emotional support, and then, like, this saddlebag situation happened. It's all very complicated. It's looking like I may not have an option that isn't this. It makes me wonder how the scene plays out if you are officially Team Apollo.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and... Overthrow it?
Overthrow it doesn't seem like the right
Truth be
word.
told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
I have like a lot
So
of
how do you...
metaphysical questions
the throne
about
itself is the key, both symbolically and literally.
You need a key to the
Claim
key?
it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
Like conceptually it seems really weird to me that like Hades just like ceases to, like how and why did it exist in the first place if you can just like opt not to have Hades functional or whatever. We'd be breaking a rule seems like a really funny thing to ask after like a lot of stuff we've done, mostly at behest of Pan.
So if we go to Hades and, find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into, exactly?
A great deal.
Seems
It's
like a
not as
great
if
way to
Athena
not
can
get killed is
execute
to
Grace
do a big
second
crime.
time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
She's no match for my sexy, like 2/3 pantsuit, lingerie, silk robe combination. Sarah asked, wasn't Hades the guy? It's one of those things that's like I think it's both. I think all the Marklars on Marklar are called Marklar. Like I think Hades is the guy, but Hades is also the kingdom. Like at least the way I've heard the terms used for my entire life. I don't know if that's like a translation error or like a common misconception, but my understanding is it's both. Although, like, there are places within Hades that, like, have specific names, like Tartarus, I think. And, like, I'm a little unclear as to whether, like, Hades became used as some sort of shorthand, but, like, technically, Hades is, like, an amalgamation of specific places that, like, didn't have a collective noun other than Hades. Thought the underworld was the place. I mean, yes and no. I don't know. Thought Tartarus was what you got when you don't brush your teeth good. Yes, some words sound like other words. That's true. You're not wrong. And those ones do. Those sound like those.
Is there really no other way to talk to these fates? Do we have to take the nuclear option?
Do you want to try going back to the reliquary?
No. No. Hell no.
No, wait, the third time's the
only
charm,
other person
right?
with a direct connection to the fates is Apollo here.
You know it doesn't work like that.
Then it's the throne or nothing, isn't it?
Was another crazy plan, right?
Grace,
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
This seems like a point where I would
can't.
expect to have some kind of choice.
I'm sorry, but this is a step too far.
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies, according to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Isn't Hades empty? I feel like I was just told this.
Wait, what? You said Hades was empty.
Your friend may, in fact, be the first new soul to enter its halls in many years.
And thus could leave it. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
It's fine, Hermes. Get this over with.
This is like a classic case where, like, if Athena hadn't been such wet blanket to begin with, it would have helped her own
Shall
life
I
tremendously.
wait
It's like a
here,
classic
No.
tragic
I'm not gonna
character
lie to them.
flaw situation.
Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it isn't Apollo and Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
I have misgivings.
Man, I don't know. Athena specifically
I like
said
the
I
fridge
wasn't
that says
supposed to
fridge.
take
It's
anyone,
very good.
You know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Can I ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you
It
want me to
seems
get in
weird for the
huge
messenger
trouble,
goddamn.
For what?
I mean, I feel like they would be most responsive to me saying it's to save Freddy. They're friends, right? Like, they're like real, they're like actual friends. I mean, like, I'm not even entirely convinced that the blue option is correct, but, like, we've got a pretty solid lead that the green option is correct. The red option, as usual in this game, seems incorrect, but that might just be a matter of perspective that I definitely don't live my life the red path.
Freddy's dead, Hermes.
What?
Had,
When
like,
did
a
that
super
happen?
bad day.
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades.
As far as
Probably.
anyone knows.
I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay.
Into my magic dumpster!
Signal when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
Freedom costs like
I
a
think I
buck
can tell her
05,
the
right?
rules, Apollo. Let's go.
Just laughed really hard at that. I mean, I didn't make the magic dumpster, alright?
Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow.
I have something I really want to say, but the game's not gonna pause.
It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter.
That's...
A
what?
bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
And we must have a dance fight. A break dance fight. So... I really like... And it's clearly missable and it's subtle. But, like, in the song that we did with Persephone at the club when we first met her, there was, like, a chance to appeal to the crowd, and it, like, depicted, like a huge crowd of, like, faceless individuals in, like, a background that matches this, which is, like, a really cool nod to Hades. It's, like, a foreshadowing illusion kind of thing that I appreciate. Who is Orpheus, the person who normally answers my, like, Mary Sue questions, died in a knife accident.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals regarding how he once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan
It's
of yours.
transferable, huh? That's weird.
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
Sarah's very upset that Persephone is referred to Hades as the underworld. But, like, I mean, it's a little weird to me that we're using capital U underworld, but, like, I don't think that's unusual. Like, I don't know how much value there is in spending too much time on it, but, like, I think those terms are interchangeable. Like, I think the idea is that Hades, parentheses, location, is an example of an underworld, in theory. So, like, it can be both Hades and the underworld. I think it's slightly less common to refer to it as, like, the capital U underworld, but, like, Hades, the place, is an underworld. Blame is on the job title of ruler of the underworld and not the guy himself. Seems unfair. There's a lot that's intrinsically unfair about the world of idols. It feels a little late in the game to try and dissect that, but, like, I feel like we've established enough of those that shouldn't be all that surprising. The lack of fairness in the whole pantheon of modern day gods. But, like, just to make things more confusing for Sarah, yeah, like, It apparently, the way to interpret it is that Orpheus is mad at Hades parentheses job title, not Hades parentheses man or Hades parentheses location. Does that help clarify anything for you?
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Does seem
Because
relevant.
it's irrelevant. Orpheus isn't
I
an
disagree.
idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
And what are we supposed to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
Car games on motorcycles.
I'm gonna fight him?
Oh, you'll see.
The devil went down to Hades parentheses location. He was looking for a soul to exchange. I don't know.
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
You have to pay for gas and snacks.
Come. It's time to cross the Styx.
What are you looking wistfully at? The magic dumpster?
The ferryman will come soon.
Oh, that's true. We are gonna meet Charon, huh?
As we are not dead,
Or
you will
Charon?
need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
With your whole chest. Can't we just give him 2 gold coins? Crossing bless, too much time on my hands. I was trying to think of what the most recognizable Styx song would be. Although we did have that very good bit on this week's The Pit for those who don't already know
I am
Styx.
Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again.
I want him to give a
Corona,
giant thumbs
I did not
up.
bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Oh my god, he likes Duel Monsters too? I don't know, I feel like invoking my status is a more compelling argument than stating my purpose, considering the purpose is a little bit against the sort of oeuvre. Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Hey there. I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing?
Thanks, Uchikoshi,
He
my favorite
says
argument.
He's always liked the muses, and that you're very pretty.
Giant thumbs up. Do it once. Oh, okay,
No,
that's good
no,
enough.
she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Caron. Stop asking.
Chacaron. Can we listen? I've been enjoying my time in Stray Gods, maybe minus the pity party. Can we have a tangent where I've basically gone to the Shadow Realm to play cards with Charon? Can we do that? That sounds rad. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'm here for it. Zago says Styx is one of my most hated bands. That's wild to me. I mean, partially because my mom and I both like Styx, but also like it feels like a weird band to have like a really strong negative take on. I don't know. I'll be in the sequel. I mean, is that just like Inscription basically? But wait, if he asked if we're really a muse, is that a real compliment then? I mean, it's like muse parentheses compliment versus like muse parentheses job title. Listen, if you want to drill down on disambiguation, like there's a lot of overlap in Greek times. We can find something to play.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Yes, what fun. Thank you for encouraging
He's
him.
so happy.
Let's get underway,
He's like me
Caron.
for
It's a
real.
long ride to the throne room.
This guy's me. That guy's also me, but like on a bad day. We gonna see Sisyphus? The silent lightning is upsetting. Haven't you seen Disney's Hercules?
Every story, every memory winds up here in the water.
Can we drink a potion of figuring out what our previous life did?
Swallow the anger, tears in my eyes. Then suddenly I was found.
Do you think Sharon is gonna like sing a solo like out of nowhere?
But was denied his throne.
Ilia's dead here, isn't it?
I mean, come on.
Everything here is fading away. She needs her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
It's really interesting to me that finding Freddy is the blue option. That's crazy. That's like so green coded. I don't even know. Like I don't. My interpretation of the vibe is that we're not here to unpack what happened. Like I don't feel like that's what she's doing. It's not what I'm doing. I'm here for Freddy and maybe to save life.
I don't know much about suffering. You've seen your life disappear. I lost a friend. If I could find her again, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
Someone's coming. There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too.
Hey, wait, I didn't agree to this.
I think we all know what to do.
Jazz
The
hands.
throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
There's someone singing with us.
That would be
It's weird to sense it that way.
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
We
coming.
might have a problem.
A wolf is waiting in the
This
tomb.
bard's already
Someone's
dead,
coming.
but you can defeat him.
I can feel them howling at the
My
moon.
help. Forget where
His
we
voice is a little familiar. Do I know this guy?
Name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been.
What happened to the music?
I have been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long. And you brought a muse. Hi. Lovely tune, by the way. Can't remember the last time I collaborated with someone so talented. No offense, Betty.
Aw.
To my underworld. Let me treat you to a song. A welcome gift. I have the floor. It is mine.
Do you
After
think
all.
it'll be Styx? It would be appropriate and funny.
Any requests? Questions?
My friend is dead. Can you help me?
Loop.
Oh shoot, he's doing like late night alumni live. That stuff is sick.
Deep in the water. How far do you sink till you're buried below? I challenge the fates and found my Eurydice. But you had to kill her, and I won't let it go. You're asking the wrong person.
I hear your torment and your suffering. They made your love disappear.
Aw, Benny.
I lost a friend. If I can find her again, that's why I'm here.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I'm
He
here.
kind of sounds like the guy from Rent.
This is when you say you're certain you had no control. But I saw you smiling when your husband condemned my soul.
I don't know. Like, I'm not really. It's funny that like Blue is side with Persephone now, and it seemed like aggressively not to do that before. I feel like I want to stop the bickering. I'm not typically Orpheus Anthony Rapp. I think is that not the guy from Rent? I think that name is familiar. That might be him. I think the children should stop bickering because they're both terrible. It is. Oh man, I feel really good about that because like I don't actually know that guy that well, but I was like, I know that voice. It has a really familiar quality.
Corpses in crowns.
Ooh.
Tangled
Dang.
and trapped. Eyes full of cobwebs. Only looking back. Don't you see what I see? Looks all dead to me. Both the same.
The same?
I like what you're doing, Muse, but I thought you'd be on my side.
The bard is to blame for the hell that he's been in.
Persephone, you're the reason I'm here. I'm not here to give in.
Oh, you think I will?
Can I get this through both of your heads? You're fighting over something that's dead. I mean, you should have seen this coming.
There's no point in reasoning with him, Grace.
Oh, I believe she was speaking to us both.
I certainly wish I'd seen you coming.
This feels really. The approach to this song feels really weird, but I like just like I don't have time for any of this, so I kind of like just being like, shut up, just shut up, shut up.
You should stop hurting each other now. We should find out if Freddy is near.
We'll get to that, Grace.
Where's my friend? We have to find her again. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
I mean, time for both of them to move on. I don't think anyone agrees to that. I don't know if that helps. I don't know. Like, I understand where Persephone is coming from, but like, I also feel like by like the Fairly Odd Parents like da rule style rules, I don't think there's anything in the rules that says that a dog can play basketball. By which I mean, I don't know that that's how the transference of Hades works. Then again, that probably applies at least as much, if not more so, to Vengeful Spirit, who's just been hanging out here. So I don't know. I guess by default, that does leave me on red, which I think is a first for my playthrough of this game. But I don't actually expect this to go well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
You both exist somewhere on the border between real and imagined, the living, the dead. So how can this place be everything you dreamed of? You both deserve more, you must let it go. You both deserve more than this stupid throne.
We have been fools.
You're right. Yet, what about the throne? We can't just leave it empty, can we?
Oh my god. There's a red option to take the throne for yourself? Would they even let you do that? That's unhinged. It's interesting though that the only alternative is destroy the throne. But like, I don't know, like, listen, I'm not, so Sarah keeps trying to like explain to me how like the rules of the color coding works, and it's not that I don't agree that like green is largely empathy and blue is largely intellect and red is largely like, I don't know, charisma or vibes or confidence or some weird amalgamation. But the thing is that like I question the interpretation of those things. So like coding Persephone as blue in that song feels weird to me. It feels red. Being like not on either of their side feels blue to me, is what I'm trying to say. Persephone is the logical leader, but that's like that's just an opinion, man. That's not real. She inherited it technically, but I'm saying that's not what the rules say. What I'm saying is like that's only true if you accept a really specific interpretation of how leadership of Hades parentheses location works. I'm saying that like she was banned from coming here, and so like siding with her feels like a passion choice and not a logic choice. Logic is like, let's get this done. I get how green is Orpheus. I don't question that at all. That makes sense to me. If a king dies, the queen has rights. It's literally Hades, sister. I don't know what to tell you. It's not Earth. It's like literally not subject to the laws of man.
All that going around in circles, digging up old wounds, and for what? So you can fight over a chair.
Chair sucks, man. Look, I even destroyed it with green power just as a flex.
You dare. What gives you the right to interfere in this manner? That throne was not yours to break.
Also wasn't yours, I've decided. I had to do something as a really funny choice because at a certain point it's like really strictly technically true. Like, I reached the end of that song and literally had no other options, so I was obligated to do something. How did we have that power? It's a really good question because we've never done anything remotely like that before that I can remember. Like, yes, we have the power to like influence emotion through song to like a nebulous and somewhat limited extent. But like we've definitely never like broken or hurt anyone with our powers or something. Frankly, I'm not sorry, and I don't know that the throne is worthless, so I think I'm just choosing I had to do something, but I did feel the need to explain why I think that's especially funny.
You were obsessed, Persephone. You still are. You need to get over it.
And that's for you to decide, is it? That I should
It seemed to work on
it?
Aphrodite.
So what's your plan now, Grace? I assume you must have one after that big demonstration.
I mean, these options are starting to feel a lot more real than they were in Act 2. By which I mean not that the stakes are higher, but that they're being more honest. I feel as though we never really had a plan. I feel like the plan was to go through a magic dumpster and get you a crown. And like, that didn't seem like a great plan for me. And certainly not for Orpheus.
My plan? It's exactly the same as it was before.
You've lost me.
Come on, Persephone. Do you expect me to believe you haven't been waiting for this since you met me?
Oh, sick, I'm calling her
You wanted
out.
to do this, but you couldn't. You needed to convince me, to convince Apollo, to convince Hermes to help you. And for that, you'd say anything, right? You'd tell us there was a way to contact the Fates.
Which there never was. You're correct.
Sick burn! Get magically
Confetti?
dumpstered!
If the throne alone could bring somebody back from the dead, surely even Orpheus would have figured it out.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that I should have realized sooner, because I didn't trust her, but I didn't have her pegged for being quite so sinister.
I should have realized it sooner. Before we ever came here. I guess neither of us is as smart as we think we are.
And now we have to go back to that
And
smelly
neither of us
dumpster.
will get what we want today.
As opposed to your original plan, where that would have only been me.
Yeah, it's pretty hard for her
At the
to have a
least,
moral
I had
high ground there,
hoped
huh?
We might find your friend's spirit.
Why?
I mean, we could still try that, but
can't
like
bring her
that
back.
wasn't apparently any
Not without
easier
great
following your
sacrifice,
plan.
No, the rules of death are clear. Yet you might have spoken to her. I know what it's like not to get the chance to say goodbye.
I destroyed the throne of Hades. Oh, sick, it's Freddy. Get magically dumpstered yet again, fool! I'm so much better at arts and crafts, and particularly the guitar, than you are.
Freddy, you're here.
Yeah.
For a second,
Yeah.
because
I've actually been watching you since you
I
arrived.
thought she was choking.
It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
I know.
Yeah, she's clearly,
Don't
like,
even start,
not
Grace.
really-
I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
Like, I don't know, I feel like it's so telling about Persephone that, like, she was like, I had hoped that, like, maybe at least you could talk to your friend. And then we, like, start talking to our friend, and she's, like, mad about it. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, for sure you were on our side, huh, Persephone? Yeah? If only we could romance Benny. Look, the night is young. We're only at the start of Act 3, which I have reason to suspect is, like, 13 hours long, if Act 2 is any indication. But why?
you sacrificed yourself. For me.
Well, yeah. I'd do anything for you, Grace.
But I won't do that.
Hey, what was the alternative? I let the Furies kill you instead? That's not how this story ends.
This isn't a story, Fred.
You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me. Hey, no.
I guess this is it, huh?
Almost. I found someone while I was down here.
Oh god, wait, is
Someone
Calliope
you
here? Does that work
really
that way?
need
Oh,
to
it sure does. Hadn't anticipated that one. That one's on me again. Somehow the music not got me thinking the story through.
Calliope? This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace.
My
Idols don't...
Eidolon is inside
Yeah,
Grace.
that's different,
The
dorky.
rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
I don't know, my interpretation matches that of the game. It doesn't surprise me because I think there is a legal distinction between Eidolon and individual spirit. Otherwise, there wouldn't be the need for hosts, I guess? I guess you weren't just friends. You were roommates, after all.
I, guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
We parted ways years ago. Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now. I miss them.
No, you don't. Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories to cherish instead.
Touch your face. 5 coins to Sharon. What's the ancient Greek currency? Just coin? This is some nonsense I fear. Elaborate, Zacula. I mean, I'm not outright arguing that you're incorrect, but I'm curious what in particular you feel is nonsense, specifically. The ocean asks, if you die wearing the last clothes you had on, anyone taking a shower or a swim would be awkward. I mean, I like to think of it more like, particularly in this case, you know, Calliope was an idol, and so she probably, like, had a greater than mortal ability to represent her best self. And so she just already looked the way she wanted to, and as a result, she's presenting her best self. And with Freddy, I mean, like, clearly she's not wearing like a ghost version of her hat, so I think the rules aren't as straightforward as that. Deus Ex Mama. I can't tell you how offensive I find that. You would equate this to Deus Ex Mama? Do you have any idea how much worse the writing for Somnium Files 2 is than Stray Gods? Are you joking me? Like, those aren't even comparable. That's like apples and like alien technology. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm saying that as someone who, if I'm going to be completely candid with you, like, didn't love Act 2. Like, Act 2 was not my bag, baby, but, like, come on. This is no Deus Ex Mama. In order for Deus Ex Mama to work at all, the game had to be, like, deliberately confusing and then outright lie to you about what the nature of the story you had played, like, 26 hours of was up till that point. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to reach the point of Deus Ex Mama? It's like some of the worst writing I've ever experienced. What if it is bad? I mean, it could be bad, but like, it's an astronomical goal to achieve to be as bad as the Deus Ex Mama. It's like one of the worst. And I can't stress to you enough without finally like copping to like playing it on stream, which is growing ever closer. But like, I can't stress to you enough how much of an insult this is to both of these games. I honestly think that the Deus Ex Mama is even worse than the plot twist in Zero Time Dilemma, which is one of the absolute worst things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not particularly confused about the soul, but I'm gonna let them yap.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul.
No, it's like the essence of godhood or something.
Then
there's like
the
different
Eidolon
folks.
is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the
Ancient Greece
memories?
used drachma. You know, I wanted to say drachma, but I
Memories
thought that was
are-
something else.
But a reflection.
They didn't have context.
And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. It's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone.
But then you forgot it, because, well, that's how it works. What if this Calliope is a trick? That might be approaching a Deus Ex. And listen, I feel like I'm coming on a little strong, and I apologize for that, Sarah, but, like, the point I'm trying to make, in a way that's intended to be comedic, is that, like, you can absolutely think that this is very contrived and convenient. I'm not going to argue that. Like, I think that this is a perfect demonstration of a thing that I have complained about both on and off stream quite a bit, about how, like, people write mysteries nowadays, which is that, like, a really high percentage of mysteries just kind of have, like, a character show up and explain the whole mystery or something very similar to that. And, like, rather than any of the previous, like, 5 days of investigating what happened to Calliope, we just, like, happen to run into her and she just tells us the mystery. And, like, do I think that's great mystery writing? No, absolutely not. It's pretty bad. But, like, all I mean to emphasize, and again, I'm trying to be, like, funny about it, and I apologize if I came off mean at all. 'Cause all I mean to say is, like, oh my god, the Deus Ex Mama is truly one of the worst things I've ever seen written. Like, holy god, it's so bad. Like, anything that, like, in order for it to function as intended requires the author to, like, lie overtly and repeatedly to the reader of the material is just heinously bad. And it's so committed to that for such a piss poor payoff. It's so bad. The writing is so bad. Hang on, Zacula says, to elaborate, my feeling is that the game really just wanted to be an angsty character drama, and to be fair, it's pretty good at that, but framed it all as a murder mystery, and they didn't want to actually write a murder mystery, so they did the angsty character drama and literally had the ghost of the murder victim explained to show up everything before the end. It's funny that you, like, got around to posting that around the time I was, like, kind of describing something similar. So yes, I'm inclined to agree with you that that's largely true. in a way, I respect it, and let me explain that in particular, because, like, as you sort of indicate, the game knows what it wants to be and has chosen to lean on that strength. I've come around on the fact that I think I generally have more respect for a game doing something badly, but, like, focusing on what it's good at, than focusing all its efforts on doing what it should be badly. And, like, there's maybe not a lot of great examples of that, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I've encountered some stuff in the past few years that are just sort of like, I tend to like something better if it knows what it wants to do and makes a concerted effort at that. But I would agree with you that, like, yeah, this isn't a good mystery, and maybe that's just fine. Because, I mean, like, let's be honest. And, like, if you feel differently, like, genuinely be honest. But, like, anyone here in chat, I get the sense we're mostly enjoying this experience. Even though we're being a little sassy. I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. But, like, was there any point where you're like, I think that this is going to be an awesome mystery and I'm super invested in the mystery more than the music or the shenanigans? Because, like, I think, without maybe saying it, like, completely outright, I think I've been kind of clear about, like, I think the mystery is not going to be very satisfying. But, like, the ride's pretty good. So, like, I think I'm okay with that. I'm honestly more okay with this than the Act 2 pity party. And it's not that, like, I feel like it was outside of the grasp of the writers, developers, whoever was involved in those creative decisions to handle heavy subject matter. I just kind of feel like, even though it fits the, like, world presented by Stray Gods, I don't know that the game experience of Stray Gods needed a, like, hey, how do you feel about euthanasia for someone who's been through, like, super severe PTSD musical segment. That wasn't what I signed up for. Hi Echo, welcome back. It's good to see you. Echo says, I mean, the story needs stakes, I guess, hence murder mystery, but yeah, it's clear the game has no interest in being a murder mystery. Yeah, I think we're all on the same page. I'm gonna stop yapping for a minute. I'll let them yap.
Need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did
Is she
you
gonna
die?
go all staticky? That'd be funny and mean.
Come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
I know you would have, but I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Such big mad.
Prophecy?
He didn't tell you?
He's been clear about how he feels about declaring
I
prophecies.
suppose he could have. It's a long story.
Well, you've got nothing but time. And we've got a magical dumpster waiting for us, so, like, I think we're good. Okay, Demolition, I want, like, a serious, light, potentially light spoiler answer to this question. Do you have a sense of whether choosing I think I understand with the intellect point is literally our character just summarizing all of the other dialogue choices? Because that's the impression I get. It's like, I could ask a bunch of questions, or I could just have the game explain it to me all in one shot. Not sure, but maybe? Okay. I'm not sure if that's the good answer. I think I want to start with Apollo. Have you seen his abs?
Start with Apollo. How is he involved in all this?
Apollo delivered, with great reluctance, a prophecy that said,
Valid
I
point,
needed to
Demolition, but
die.
I'm committed.
And who did he deliver this prophecy to?
Athena.
No.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To
I think
you.
the mortal world feels little... Like, I get it, 'cause she was at the reliquary, but that... I mean, that feels weird. Tell me about the prophecy.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it. I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
So I guess it's so Cold shotted literally the whole plot. Good job, Vasco. I am media literate, I like to imagine. I went to school to write TV, and look how that worked out for me. I'm just, while we're on the subject of calling shots, and I know this one won't come true, but I think we could all agree it should be how it works out. I really want, when we exit that magic dumpster and go back to that random parking lot in the middle of whatever city we live in, that maybe the game told me and I don't remember, but like, when we leave, I hope Apollo is standing there and he just says, back again. Because, like, I mean, what other way would there to greet us on our return from Hades' parentheses location? Keep going.
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
Okay, that sounds very bad.
The prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
She can't be. Have you met her?
I don't believe that. Athena's got tunnel vision. She must be wrong.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
No, that's up for interpretation. That's totally up for interpretation. Because if Calliope, the current last muse, remained, then she wouldn't have done all the shenanigans that we've done to, like, cheer up all the bummed out gods. So, like, it could easily be that the only way that they survive is with the curveball that is Grace being the last muse. Are they, like, they're the embodiment of the Greek gods. Are they, like, super bad at, like, understanding, like, spooky Greek prophecies? Like, come on, gang? Amateur hour?
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but...
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do.
You did sort of call
But you
that
have
too.
to ask Athena.
You went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive
Some
him.
really hard
just
edits.
like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
So, like, the thing that we're doing incorrectly from an audio perspective is that we have this spooky, unnatural reverb to make her sound like a ghost, but we're, like, cutting without letting the sound effect finish, like, resounding after her dialogue finishes, which feels rough and unnatural. And I'm actually kind of surprised that a game that has the level of audio editing that this one does, like, missed that step. Because, like, that's something I could do, and I'm not, like, especially good at editing.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't
Not the ringing
save
endorsement
you.
I'd hoped for.
I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
I'm definitely not. You didn't give me a choice, or how dare you drag me into this. Thank you, I think, is an acceptable answer, but I think I'm going with none of this is your fault. Because, like, I'm not sure that Grace necessarily feels great about this, but, like, I don't feel the need to be hostile.
I don't blame you, in case you're wondering.
Okay, it's a little harsher than I might.
Ask for all this to happen. You did the best you could, Calliope.
Thank you for saying that, Grace. Truly.
And then the ghosts kiss because it's kind of hard to get the mortals involved. Do you blame Athena?
Do you blame Athena for what she did?
I assume she's gonna say no.
She wanted to save the idols. And I wanted that too.
Well, I blame her. And Apollo for not telling us what she'd done.
If he had, Grace would have been locked into the same fate as Calliope.
We don't know that.
This isn't fair feels like an understatement that could be said at most points in the game, to be honest. One wonders how the trial will go, considering who is, I guess, arguably the judge in this case. There's Orpheus in the background just chilling. I don't know that he's got like a whole lot going on, to be honest. We kind of broke his spot. We blew up his spot. We literally blew up his spot.
Time to say goodbye, I guess.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
So many years of history, fights the high.
Man, I really wish we got more songs with Calliope. I really like her.
So proud of you, but it's time to go.
Like, I get how it factors into the story. It just seems like a shame.
Saw before how trapped we were, so far from shore. Great at the time, but it's time to go.
Yeah, her voice is amazing, and it sucks that she's not in more songs. Full emotion, sister Blamo.
Will I know where to go without you to guide the way across the storming seas? I've had a compass bright and clear. Listen to me when I say, whatever path from which you think you strayed, you will find your way. But it's time to go. It's time to go.
I feel like I'd make her upset if I did red, but like it feels bad to not give her as much as I can. We'll see how she reacts. I don't know.
If I could bring you back, I would give it all to you, my best friend. If I could choose a muse,
You would give up godhood to bring her back.
I was unclear that was an option, to be honest.
any day, every day, a life for a life.
Wouldn't that kill her too? Not necessarily.
Please, stay.
Because soul is distinct from idol, spirit, eidolon. Huh. I appreciate that this choice exists. I feel like it would dishonor her to force it upon her. I don't know. The trial, the prophecy. But, like, there's so, like, the thing is, like, prophecy is, like, there's so many ways to interpret it. Like, nothing about that prophecy suggests to me that, like, we have to die. Like, it's only because Athena's such a stick in the mud that she interprets it that way. I don't know. My instinct says I've made my statement. She's made her emotions clear. Athena would just kill her. I don't know. Like, you could argue that if we, like... So, like, my interpretation is, like, we could arguably give her the Eidolon and somehow that revives her. Don't ask questions. And we go back to the magic dumpster and it's like, look, I proved that, like, I didn't do the murder for the sake of power because I gave up the power. I don't care. So, like, what's your argument now, Athena? And then I feel like the chorus, based on what I've done since I've been here, would be like, yeah, I don't know, Athena, I think your case kind of sucks. And, like, I think she has, like, more power than the others, but I don't know that she can, like, overrule them. But, like, I don't... Like, I think it's also, like I said, I think it's, like, super easy to imagine the case that, like, simply the work that we've done as a muse demonstrates that we've changed the way the idols exist. They were, like, isolating themselves and miring themselves in these miserable human emotions without, like, embracing each other or supporting each other or, like, doing anything to, like, be productive in their own, like, realms or whatever. Here's the thing, if that is the case, the idol would definitely be dead. How do you mean? Did Freddy say no for real? Oh yeah, she for sure said no. Like, she had a moment where she's like, what? Like, her eyes were like, nani? And then she was like, no. It's time to go. So, like, that's my choice. But, like, I like, listen, Devilish had gifted you the game. Have fun.
Grace, I know
Well, that too. Okay, that too, Devilish.
hard, but I made a
I feel like I
choice.
touched on that, but, like, I agree with you.
Hurled a lot of 20s,
Lol, Lamau even.
but it's time. It's time to go. It's time to go.
Delusion says they chose Red. Got a beautiful song, but it was hard. I really liked that. That was honestly one of my favorite songs of the run. I don't know that that's like a particularly interesting outcome, but I like that.
You've returned.
I miss whatever achievement that was. Probably just don't kill yourself.
And I see Freddy isn't with you. I'm so sorry, Grace. Did you at least get to speak to the Fates?
Funny thing about that.
Then what happened?
And sadly, he did not say, so you're back. I was a little confused why she wouldn't come back with that. She just sang about it. Oh, my computer is mad. How the encoding is getting overloaded on like a still image. Whatever, it's fine. Who cares? He did say that I was talking, but did he? Dang, sucks to be me. Skill difference. I'm confused why she wouldn't come back with him, because it would mean that Grace would have to give up her power, and she didn't want that for Grace. She thinks that Grace is the right choice to be Calliope. and just wants the best for her friend and doesn't want the sacrifice on her behalf. Whether or not you honor that is like your choice. Like literally, it's a game list you choose. But like, I feel like the emotion of it is clear, even if I talk over some of it. I don't know. We found Calliope.
Then we found Calliope.
Calliope, but her Eidolon is inside you. How
It
could...
doesn't work like that. The
I'm
Eidolon
surprised
is
that's so
only a
hard for
part
everyone
of
to
an
grasp.
idol. The rest just...
Calliope told us what happened. The prophecy. How you warned her. How you've been lying to us.
Did I forget to mention like a whole bunch of important stuff?
You knew the truth this entire time. Even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
My mom said they didn't even signal to get out of the dumpster, which is a good point because, I mean, I don't know. It feels like it's implied that we just like, I don't think we came through the door magically here. I think we came through the door like mundanely, but like, I don't know. It feels weird that Apollo wasn't at the dumpster, I guess, is my bottom line. I mean, I
You
understand
were
why.
trying to protect me, right? You didn't want me to share Calliope's fate?
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Then it's done.
Weird flex.
You're locked into it.
Isn't the prophecy open to interpretation? Couldn't you be wrong about how it ends?
When am I not wrong, Grace?
Extremely weird flex. Weird narcissist flex. It sucks to be
That's
right all the time.
Leave. It's what you're best at. I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. But if she believes you need to die in order to save the idols, if she truly believes that, it won't matter what anyone says.
At least she'll give us a cookie on the way out, probably. Or maybe all the cookies are poisoned? I don't know. Sarah says if it doesn't kill Grace, then it just seems like Freddy doesn't love us more than she likes that we get magic. I mean, I see your point, but like, I feel like the idea is that she, like, think of it this way. I think Freddy's perspective is closer to like she believes we are the chosen one, the right person for the job, and that it would be a net negative to the world if we were not the person who had that power. And also, like she said or sang earlier, like she doesn't regret that. She stands by doing that. I'm gonna choose blue because it's a skill point. And that's really the only reason.
Does there still need to be a trial? If we go to Athena privately, maybe we could work out some kind of deal.
She won't make a deal. All that will afford her is a chance to kill you before the trial.
That sounds less good.
She tried that once already.
And your friend died as a result. No, it's a clever thought, but Athena needs to be challenged.
I mean, that's
in front
the
of
clever
everyone.
thought. It's like, yeah, like you can't face her
I
one-on-one
intend to
because she
keep
has
my
the power.
promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Do your nightly
Great.
preparations, choose all your spells, restore your spell slots, put on your enchanted hat of friend sacrifice. These are some choices. Oh, by the way, it's day 7. Day 6 didn't exist, I think. I think there was literally never a day 6. Time is an illusion. It's my last chance to speak to anyone before the trial. Is this I choose one of these, do you think? I mean, I don't know. I think, like, a problem that I personally have with this game is, like, I like what it's going for, but, like, none of the romantic interests, like, vibe with me that hard. So, like, I didn't get that specifically attached to any of the characters, which, like, isn't it. It doesn't, like, prohibit the game from being enjoyable, but, like, I do think it kind of undermines part of the experience that they intended me to have. Have we checked in with Apollo? You know what? That's such a great suggestion, Zacula.
Oh, it's you.
She seems mad at me, which is
Paul
how
comes
most
in,
conversations
mopier
seem
than
to
his
start.
usual mopey self, and won't say a word about why. But of course, it's you.
I want to talk to Hermes and have them come in from behind with a steel chair. That'd be really good. I stumbled upon last night on Reddit. Someone found that extremely stupid old, like, John Cena meme where, like, some guy just, like, kept calling, and, like, I don't even know if this was staged, because this was, like, back in, like, I don't know, like, the late 2000s or something. But, like, they kept, like, prank calling this, like, woman at her house and, like, trying to convince her that she should, like, buy tickets to some wrestling event with John Cena. And, like, it just got, like, increasingly more ridiculous. And, like, that's, like, I feel like that's sort of what you're suggesting is going, like, over the top wrestling. Like, it's like we could confront her in, like, a dignified, decorum sort of way, like, in front of as much of the chorus as we can manage, and sort of explain that, like, Athena's problem is, like, that she's too strictly adherent to the old ways, and that we have to be more flexible, and that's what I'm bringing to the table. And the reason why that fulfills the prophecy is because Calliope died to make me the new Calliope. And, like, basically walk their hand through it like they're five, because these gods are stupid. Like, they're all collectively really dumb. Like, there's some part of me, and, like, I don't mean this to be, like, a knock against the game, because I don't even think it's on the game. I think it's, like, somewhat reasonable of a depiction of particularly the Greek gods and the way they're frequently depicted. But, like, it does feel like a lot, like, if all the information was just, like, given to me, like, by the people who had it pretty much right away, I'd be like, oh, like, it's, like, super easy, barely an inconvenience to, like, resolve this matter. I know you care. Last minute entrance into the love interest ring is the hacker.
Look, I know you care about Apollo. I'm not here to hurt him.
Uh-huh, yeah. And, why should I believe you?
Sing a song.
I know he did what he did with the best of intentions.
That does sound like him, yeah. I guess I can go ask him if he wants to talk to you. Don't be surprised if he says no, though.
It's all right, Oracle. I think Grace and I need a moment alone.
Couldn't we just, like, talk in his room or outside or something and not disrupt the
Sure.
Oracle?
Don't mind me. It's not like I was in the middle of anything.
How tall is she? How old is she?
I didn't mean for it to end up this way.
I mean, I think the game is expecting me to have, like, an emotional reaction to what he did, but, like, frankly, like, I feel like the very first conversation I had with Apollo, like, made it clear what the deal here is. So, like, I don't have to like it, but, like, the potential ramifications of him being honest at least make a more compelling case than any of the other characters, particularly Persephone, who, like, frankly was even more manipulative than I would have thought. So, like, being confrontational or being, like, slightly confrontational, not great. How about the other one?
So you've said. I'm more worried about you, actually.
Worried about me? After all you've been through?
I lost Freddy. I can't lose anyone else.
It'll really
When I
drag the
first
band
became
down if we
Apollo,
lose
I was
two members.
so sure I could help people. Help the world. I ignored the warnings. You have no idea how many lives I ruined before I stopped. I never should have given in to Athena. This one time, I thought that maybe it will be different.
You don't know everything, Apollo. Half the problem is that you and every other idol thinks they do.
This is the point of the prophecy, gang.
Trying to prevent the prophecy is what's making it come true.
So you want to, what, stop trying?
Maybe.
I hope you can forgive me, Grace.
I hope that one day we'll be as close friends as you were with Calliope.
I guess all that
Apollo will
remains is the
remember
trail.
this.
Not sure what
Apollo's
blowing
abs
on
will
that
remember
would achieve.
this.
Whatever happens, Grace, I'll be standing right there by you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll confront all of them. I'm gonna save Persephone. I haven't talked to Pan in a hot minute.
Pan? Are you here?
This guy needs hobbies, maybe.
Squeak, squeak.
Pan!
God, I hope he wasn't
Look at all
skinny
this
dipping.
trash.
All right then. Guess I'll just head off.
I thought you didn't want to see me anymore. You're not here to yell at me, are you?
I'll just go. I want to apologize. Somewhat counterintuitively, but I think this is accurate.
No, I, wanted to apologize.
Apologize? To me? Well...
For thinking you might be behind Calliope's murder. Turns out that's not the
Not
case.
like a ringing endorsement, but okay.
Oh, then you've learned something, haven't you? Something not exactly pleasant. I see. Isn't that always the way?
You know, it turns out murder doesn't often end up pleasant.
Tell you what, Grace. Let's indulge in one last transaction. Relay what you've learned, and I'll see if I have any advice to offer.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that. I'm not sure he is a completely trustworthy guy. I don't think I have sufficient reason to think that telling him the facts of this thing he was genuinely invested in will actually backfire. But who knows? My sense is that what I should do, and what I want to do, is to just get everyone to chill out and, like, listen to each other and maybe shut up some more. And so, like, I feel like including him on this meets that end.
Okay, where do I begin?
Well, of course,
This implies
it
that I
was
ended.
Athena.
I
Wait,
mean, yeah,
you
pretty much,
knew?
of course, it was Athena.
No,
Does,
how could I?
So what now?
does anything summarize the
Let the
game?
prophecy play
Of course
out.
it was Athena.
Let it play out. It doesn't say the last muse will die, just that she must for the idols to continue. Perhaps the idols shouldn't continue. Seems reasonable enough.
You're dumb too, idiot. Sankulus says, absolutely wild. The first time we learned genuinely anything relevant to the murder is when we learned literally everything about the murder. Now, in this case, I think that's ever so slightly reductive. It's largely accurate. I'm not going to split hairs with you on that. But what I will say is, again, I treat that as a larger complaint about how people write most mysteries in, like, the last, like, 20 years. Like, I don't know. I genuinely am staggered at how frequently things that, like, call themselves mysteries do something, like, dangerously close to this. And again, I mind it less here because it frames an interesting fictional world and seems like the thing it mostly wants to do is get a bunch of talented voice actors to sing, which is pretty rad. But like, I don't like, there's just so many stories that are like, ooh, mysterious, like what thing happened? And then like you basically like get no clues until like, I mean, and okay, I don't know how much of this I should spoil. There was like a recent adaptation of an Agatha Christie story that was like kind of a fun watch, but was an absolute dog water mystery. Cause like basically like all of the characters died but two, and like one of them says like the other one did it. And like that's like basically how the mystery resolves, and it's like what a profoundly unsatisfying thing that is. And like I don't know what the original story was like. I got the vague impression from like some chattering about that property that they're like, this story is not Agatha Christie's strongest, but like generally I'm inclined to agree with you, Zakula, that more people should read Agatha Christie. That one in particular might not be the best example, but like it functions primarily to me as an example of just like that particular adaptation and or story like really really struck out for me as like, that's not really a mystery, is it? Not really.
I don't want to be responsible for the idols dying out. I don't know how it could be, but what if it's true?
Then we die out. It's not that complicated. And if you're responsible, surely you'll have a good reason. Frankly, change is long overdue. Continuing on as we have been isn't appealing, and I doubt I'm the only one who thinks so. I'm rather looking forward to the trial now. How exciting.
Yeah, my mom and I watched this Agatha Christie story and we exchanged notes. I think we had pretty similar feelings about it independently of just like, yeah, okay. I guess you could call that a mystery. Alright, Tyler selects Persephone.
Did you forget something, Grace?
It felt like we hadn't quite finished our conversation.
It seemed pretty finished to me. What more is there to discuss?
Can I ruin your life some more? Oh my god, get out of here. How are you doing?
How about you? Are you okay?
Oh, I am many miles from okay, Grace.
How many miles?
Want to talk about it?
I don't think she wants to talk about it.
Oh, I keep replaying what happened. How could I have allowed you to betray me? How did I not see it coming? I've allowed my feelings to cloud my vision, and that needs to end.
It's really funny that the dialogue options in this conversation allow me to start by trying to be romantic, and then like immediately after, if I don't choose that, allows me to just be like, we definitely are neither cute nor a couple. Zagula says, see, I wasn't actually planning on playing this game myself, but now I have to see Grace and Persephone kiss. See, I'm doing good, honest work for the indie game community. Although I know you already bought this game, but like, I think at this point I've pretty much documented my feelings about romancing these characters, and like, it's not that I have anything like against the options available. It's just that like they're not for me, and I'm not really committed to any of them, and so I'm playing this like agnostic, aromantic thing. I don't know, maybe it's a unique experience for you if you've seen this game before. I'm really not sure which of these two options to choose, however. I'm not entirely... I mean, I guess an extension of the earlier conversation where I had to do something was the choice because I was literally obligated to do something. It had to be done because I reached a point in the dialogue tree, you understand, where there weren't any other options that weren't it. Now that you're near the end, you want me to tell you the romance options? Let's save that for like a debrief. Like, we might run a little short. I don't know how much exactly is left. So, like, we might have a little bit of extra time at the end, and that might be a good thing to discuss at large then. It had to be done.
I did what needed doing. I figured you, of anyone, would be
impressed
by that.
You don't know crap,
oh,
lady.
Really? Yeah, really. It's not me you're angry at anyhow, is it?
I mean, I think she's angry at you.
Annoyingly, you're right. But I'm the one I should be angry at. I drove Calliope away. I wasted all that time being stubborn. And now she's gone.
Yeah, skill difference. Zega says, I feel like the trial is its own stream, maybe. Like, my impression is that the trial's like a musical number, and then we go to bed. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. That's where my sense is. I don't know, the blue one. It's a skill option. Why not?
That's why you pulled away from me, isn't it? At the club.
At the club.
You look at me and see her.
Personally, I find
Even
Persephone
after
very
Hades.
off-putting. I'll level with you.
It's not that simple, Grace.
So what is it then? Tell me.
I don't know if I can do this. Us.
Why? Because of the throne? Does it still mean that much to you?
I keep wondering, do I like you because of you? Or because Calliope is a part of you? As you gain her memories, will you become more and more like her? Will you think of me as she did? You deserve more than that, Grace. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted no part of it.
My mom says, I agree, Vasco. Persephone is an alpha and she is a lot. Listen, that might be true. That's not actually the thing that I find most, like, vexing about her. It was something that was kind of difficult for me to put my finger on, but, like, the latter half of the game has, like, put it, like, very prominently on display for me. Which is that, like, she is so intensely dishonest about her feelings, but, like, most specifically with, like, the people she should be open with her feelings about. And, like, I ain't got time for that. I'm way too old for that high school stuff. Are you joking me? Get out of here. Get lost. Go in the magical dumpster. Please and thank you. Zacula's counter argument. Persephone could spit in my general direction and I'd faint. That's fair. I mentioned yesterday, I've been catching up on the One Piece manga, and they introduced a character in a flashback. I think her name is Shakaku. And, like, her whole vibe is so funny because she's basically just like the hottest pirate who like ever lived, and like all the reactions that all the stupid anime characters have to her existence is like basically that, like dialed up 2 notches higher. It's really funny and stupid. Calliope kind of played with them all. I think there's an argument / interpretation to be made like that. My impression of it is a little bit more like Calliope was fed up with everyone. Like, no one satisfied Calliope because they were all kind of treading water in the same way. And, like, I think she wanted change and didn't have the commitment or the wherewithal to do it in the way that Grace did by nature of being forced into this. Like, I think Calliope and Grace kind of wanted something similar for the idols, And, like, for a combination of kind of complex reasons, like, Calliope wasn't well positioned to do it or to be the one to do it. And, like, I get the sense that, like, by being forced into these circumstances in the unfortunate way that she was, Grace was positioned to do that. And I basically feel like that's what the prophecy is. Hoda made a second Boa Hancock. Yeah, you better believe it, Sonny Jim. I don't know where your knowledge of One Piece is exactly, Zacula. It's a broad subject. But, like, you're so on it. Zacula says, I also think Grace is uniquely positioned to enact change by what you mentioned, but also by virtue of not having all the memories yet. That's a super good point. That is a good point. Because, like, it does feel like a big part of the problem that the idols have is being, like, weighed down by this sense of, like, how things have always been. And, like, everyone, but, like, especially Athena, but, like, everyone has felt, like, this sense of, like, futility and inevitability about trying to change anything. So, like, yeah, I think that is a good observation that, like, Grace, by being more actively mortal but with her powers, has, like, a completely different perspective than, like, a full embodiment of Calliope would have. Finished Egghead. Okay. Yes. I am, like, I have zero sense of how far I am in the next story arc, or if that one's even, like, been completed. I think it may not have been, but, like, I put it on the back burner for a while because I was getting frustrated reading, like, weekly chapters. Because, like, it's just kind of hard to, like, absorb a story by that nature in that fashion, for me anyway. Some people might just, like, find that totally fine. But, like, I kind of left it on the back burner for, like, a long time. And so I've been, like, absolutely, like, blasting through it this week. And, I don't know, we got to the obligatory, like, enormous flashback. And it's on a scale that even I feel like I have not witnessed before. Yeah, I know the anime just started up again. I'm just, like, not 100% clear where the manga is exactly. And I don't really want to look it up because it might spoil something that I haven't read yet. Whatever. I don't feel like I want to be, like, I don't want to be mean about it. I just want to be vague about it. Just be like...
I don't know, honestly. It's a lot.
It is. Even ignoring the part where I lied to you and
yeah,
you
we got
denied
issues.
me my throne.
The classic OkCupid match drama. Y'all
Even
got
ignoring
issues.
That.
Is it any easier?
Your point is
out
also
there?
valid, Sarah.
Being immortal, Grace.
Glossed over that. Sarah says, it seems like Calliope started a relationship with Apollo, then moved on to Persephone, and then maybe Pan. I mean, you could maybe, like, read between the lines on Pan. I don't know that the Pan thing is, like, totally explicit based on what I've seen. But, like, definitely for sure Apollo and Persephone. Although I almost think the order is reversed. I kind of feel like it was Persephone first, then Apollo. I don't know if that's right. But, like, yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely, like, I see what you mean, though, about, like, she played them. It's sort of different than I interpreted that originally. I feel like it's been a week feels kind of dismissive, but I feel like it's been a week is also, like, an extremely appropriate answer. I've been through a lot, and a lot of it has been focused on a trial to the death. And I don't think that's, like, an appropriate way to emotionally process the demands of absorbing an eidolon and becoming the last muse.
It's been a week, Persephone. If I live past the trial, I'll let you know.
Yes, the trial.
It's a whole thing, I hear.
It's like a whole thing.
Whatever happens, Calliope will approve of us defying Athena.
Let's look at the painting or the wall or just leave. I don't know. It's been a week is so real. I mean, I feel like I'd say that, and I don't have, like, nearly the drama that Grace has had in this week, which, to be clear, was like 2.5 days. Let's go to the auditorium, which frankly is like a kind of a weird setting for the trial, but I guess it's thematically appropriate for the ending of the musical to go back to where the musical began and or reprise, etc., etc.
So this is it. All your new friends have lied to you, but somehow they're gonna get you through the trial, right? I wish Freddy were here.
Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold waters, no star to be seen. I'll embrace the fire as it burns deep inside, bright enough to guide me, an ocean defied. But as I burn, they've all turned away one by one. In the end, am I alone? Like a boat lost at sea, with no sails, not a breeze. I am drifting cold water.
Dracula asks, with Freddy dead, how are we supposed to get the band back together? It is an important question.
In your heart, we remain. You do not
So I get the sense that if I had chosen any romantic option, this would probably play out significantly differently.
in my heart, you remain. I do not sail in vain.
Okay, here we go.
I hope Phoenix Wright shows up.
Hello?
Oh, Grace, there you are. Everyone is already waiting for you on Olympus.
Yeah, aren't we? Isn't... I mean, I'm pretty sure what we're saying is we're going to, like, actual Olympus, which, you know, Sarah, I'm sure Sarah will hate this, just because it's very similar to the Hades thing. But, like, I feel like the important question is, how doth the trial worketh? Finally time to take a cookie. I mean, I wanted a cookie so bad. But, like, they're probably also poisoned because Athena's, like, the super villain.
Care to explain how this is supposed to work? I don't
Are
exactly
we meeting
have an
Olympus?
itinerary.
Yes, Mr. Olympus.
How this works is, you follow us.
You need to chill out, lady. I'm gonna grab this battle axe behind me before we go, just like FYI. The hoodie that just says freedom on it 3 times is really funny. That actually like looks like a One Piece character outfit.
Welcome to Old Olympus, dear.
Cool. Cool. God, even the owl's wrong.
Is this a real place?
Why is the Minotaur here?
It's the memory of a real place, which for us is the same thing.
That's super Theros coded.
Let's begin, shall we?
Yeah, alright, fine. just so haughty and aloof. By Apollo's abs!
Brothers, sisters, everyone, look around you. We
Look at each of your neighbors. One of the three of you will fail out of Olympus Academy.
To escape the war, but we are not out of danger. I waited to tell you until I was certain, and now I am. The idols are dying. It will not be long before even our immortality deserts us. The time for extreme measures has arrived.
Huh. Not really sure why bring that up now gets at. As decided by you, I think is like a challenge to her authority that I don't know would be received by the audience. I feel like I would ask this question differently, but like I feel like the one that's like closest to my vibe is like, are you sure the idols are dying? Because like I want her to bring up the prophecy and look foolish. Later, Zago, thanks for dropping by. I hope that you enjoy playing through this yourself, since that seems like the intention, and let me know how much you enjoy that scene you were looking for. And also, maybe figure out Grand's secret ending, if you know what I mean. 5 hearts, 1 roof.
How do you know it's true? How can you be so certain?
Each time we pass on our eidolon, we become a little less. It is, however, not solely that. I have had Hecate researching the matter for decades, and her results are conclusive. We are diminishing. I am at this trial to tell you that, as always, I will look out for you.
Everybody
will
didn't
save
like
you. Trust in me, Pallas Athena, daughter of Zeus and leader of the chorus, and I will do
didn't realize the
anything
trial
it
was a
takes to keep
campaign
you
debate.
all alive.
You'll do anything?
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because, like, I feel as though the vibe is to, like, unite the idols and, like, stop them from all being, like, these, like, listless immortals. Like, in a way, I kind of feel like the issue with the idols in this depiction of the Pantheon is like similar to how like vampires are sometimes depicted, where it's sort of like they just like live so long that they like lose touch with the concept of humanity. And while they are, you know, immortal, like being completely disconnected from the mortal experience, I think, is what sort of causes them to diminish. Also, there's really no good way for me to depict this, but there's somehow one of the two lines on the thing in the background lines up really precisely with something in the background of my computer in a way that's very amusing to me. So the crux of the thing here is like, do I achieve the goal of uniting the idols by being inclusive to Athena, or do I just shut her down? And frankly, I feel like the idea is to shut her down? Because, like, I don't think her perspective is fair or balanced or in the best interest of the group. And, like, while being empathetic to her might be helpful, I don't think it's the core of the approach, if that makes sense. But, like, again, I think that I kind of got my Phoenix Wright badge on. Like, I feel like I need to get her to introduce the prophecy into the court record so that then I can raise an objection, and then whatever the current version of the cornered theme plays. So I think the best way to do that is to call her out on being responsible for the death, which I presume she will justify through the prophecy, and then we'll talk about the prophecy, is my hope.
Tell them. Let them know what that anything includes. Tell them about the prophecy Apollo gave you, and how you've interpreted it. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Isn't that how it goes?
It's true.
We know the truth because one guy in the crowd said it's true. Wondering if there's any merit to the other choices, but I feel like in this case, I expect the skill point option to lead me in the path I want. I mean, Accuser does seem like a valid option. I just don't know if it's better. Like again, I think ultimately the angle I want, like, I wanted her to... I wanted the prophecy on the record so I could explain why everyone's being stupid about the prophecy, and it is my hope, although I don't know for sure, but it is my hope that the smart option is the one that gets us there. Like, You Become a Monster is like the anti-green option. I don't know that that's helpful. I think that's like counter to what I'm trying to do. In a way, you can still stop this conflict like a blue option, but like, I don't know. It's my hope that this gets where I want to go.
We spoke to Calliope in Hades.
Yeah.
She told us how you sent the Furies after her.
Yeah, like that's, I mean, that's kind of like a better accuse, huh?
You couldn't have. Yes, I could. There's more to an idol than just the eidolon. Maybe you even knew that once, but you've forgotten it. Just like all the idols have. You don't know everything, Athena.
No, 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 I do not.
I would know if there was something I didn't know.
You are lying.
You're the one who's been lying. Or would you like to explain to the idols how you murdered Calliope based on a vague prophecy?
No rhubarb,
Tell
no peas,
them.
no carrots.
Yes, it's me.
It'd be funny if she just shot lasers out of her eyes that one time instead of doing the song.
Me. Of course, it's me. The one who gets it done. Don't you see?
Oh my god, you're so annoying.
It had to be. You all turn away when I got the fish. Then you cry hooray once it's on the dish. That's how
It's so childish, come on.
do this. Yes, we. Yes, you and me. I have always cared for you.
It looks like really uncomfortable.
I'll always do all these things for you. All these things that you are not prepared to do.
You might be surprised by this. Well, I don't know. I don't actually know what I expect. You're not the only one who cares. I guess that's supposed to be I also care. I don't know that's what I want. Like again, I'm trying to like get everyone like I feel like there's two parts to what I want to get at here. And I apologize, like, I don't like grinding the song to a halt, but, like, the trial seems important. Like, I feel like one point is, like, the approach that she is taking is wrong. Like, she's clinging too hard to control, and she's not listening to people, she's too fixed in her own ways. And, like, two is, like, the problem is with all of the idols, and we have to like work together, and I don't necessarily get the sense that that's what Green portrays. So like I don't know, I actually kind of think Red is it. Blue feels like a little... I don't know. I think red is it.
You say you care, Athena, look around. The way you care grinds.
Yeah, okay, I feel good about this.
From up above, you played your puppet show. You called it love. Athena, did you know you're turning them to ghosts? Sorry, little bird, time to wring your neck.
Little girls, they dream up a future. They're sure how they feel, sure their vision's true. I fought for that throne and then didn't take it. And that was okay. Could it be for you too?
Of course you would make it all about you.
Green and red are both pretty good here. I'm leaning red. I don't know. It's kind of fun to just like suddenly go red. Like it's like almost a heel turn. I don't know.
Still, Athena, I'm glad you were here to see how someone grew.
None of you see. So it's down to me.
This whole vibe is clearly villainous.
I'll take all the blame. I'll take all the pain. Think you see it all, you just see a scrap. You wanna make the call, you need to hold the map. You cloistered children. It's time
Very
for
chilly.
you and all who stand with you.
I don't need a map
Yes,
to get the
you
bones.
too. Form a queue. Time to follow through.
I don't think I like do your worst here. I feel like that's an unhelpful energy. I don't want anyone dying for me. It's just not the vibe I get from what's happening here. I don't need a map to get to Bone Town. I see what you did there. You need to hold the map to Bone Town that we don't need. I don't know. It feels like you, like, honestly, I feel like I basically said this. Like, you gotta know you're doing villain stuff, right? Like, everyone here has to be, like, super clear about the fact that she's the villain right now, right?
I'll use this knife.
Is that a lighthouse speaking?
Somewhere inside, in that mind, there's a war. You're not sure.
Don't be so sure. We're not the same.
I'm not saying we're the same. I'm saying you're stupid.
Same.
I didn't know how lost I was until you found me.
This is weird. Asterion is my bro. This feels like a weird choice, but like these are all fine. But I choose Asterion because he's the goat, by which I mean the cow.
Grace, I love you. Oh, not in that way. I just meant to say you're great, Grace, and I'm with you, or not with you. I'm just you know what I mean.
Terribly sorry, but I'm afraid I'll need to stand here too. I really need to. Please accept my apology.
I don't know why it's cutting out like that. Guess who's the chorus now?
It's me. Because of me, this prophecy.
would come to be. My Olympus is gone, and you're all looking on at her stranger wearing my face.
Gross. Hate it.
My Olympus is gone. Now I'm some other one. Just how long has she
Is she the crying mask? I thought the same thing. See, I feel really good about the way that this is played out. Like, it's been a little bit of a struggle for me as a player, but like I feel like this has worked out like the way I wanted it, where it's like now this is the time where we become empathetic. We make it clear that what she was doing is wrong, but like we aren't gonna try to do like a murder on her. It's just like you need to understand the mistake before you can fix it, and we can work together, and that's the point. That's the point, you dingus, you dongus.
You set off hoping you could get to some.
Felicia Day as Athena? I didn't clock that at all.
It's been too many years since the mainland was inside.
It's basically Critical Role the musical. That I did have a sense of, and yet somehow I didn't think of that.
There was a voice in me that shouted, Athena, you be strong. Be strong. No cost is great enough. It was wrong. I was wrong.
And then we hit her in the back of the head with a warhammer.
Now I don't know what the right thing is. I leave it up to you what to do with this.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what, and I don't know if Chad will be mad at me about this, but like, I think like red feels silly. Like, I don't know, it probably won't surprise you at this point that I routinely feel like the red option is ridiculous. Although I immediately see someone in chat agree with that, which is gratifying. I think green and blue are both pretty solid. I kind of think that like Athena might be the right person to be in charge, because I don't think anyone else like is capable of it and definitely doesn't want to. But like I like the again, I think the point is that like we need her to understand that she's sort of lost her way, and if she reforms, she may well still be the correct person to be in charge. And I get that may not be a take others agree with, but like that's kind of my opinion on this. Maybe no one needs to be in charge. I mean, like, that's certainly an interpretation, and like I can see that argument. I don't necessarily get the sense that the game will like back that play, but like, it's one of those things that's kind of hard to know without making a choice, right? But like I respect that thought process. But like here's the issue, kind of broadly speaking, is that like what it means to like be in charge of the gods, I think, is to sort of be like a unifying force. So like you could make an argument that like Grace might be better at that, but like also it's pretty hard to evaluate that without her having taken charge of her like full Calliope-ness. Which sounds rude if you say it wrong. But like, I don't know. Like, I kind of... I guess here's my concern as a player is like, I don't know what I expect the game to do if I say your time as leader is over, and I feel like it has a higher risk of like irking me than the forgive you option. Also, like, I'll put it this way, like, I don't necessarily get the sense that like, I think others were kind of like fed up with Athena's behavior, but I don't think people necessarily hate Athena. So I think that there is like a legitimate basis to like reforming her, and I feel like the song kind of like went through that or whatever. So like there's like a few different reasons, and I'm trying to talk myself into it to some extent, but like my instinct is I forgive you, and I kind of feel like it makes the most sense, but like either way it's the thing I'm choosing.
I forgive you, Athena.
Look into me. I know what I see. Yes, a monster.
Very Medusa coded imagery. It's good. I get it. I see what we're doing.
Weren't monsters. I'm a monster to me. I'm sorry, Grace. I'm sorry, all of you. I wish Calliope could know it too. She does. She hears you.
That camera though. Still not egregious as that one really funny shot from the old X-Men cartoon where it's just like Rogue's butt is the only thing in focus when like Apocalypse is like beating people up at Stonehenge. It's a great idiot scene. High Road, forgive, don't forget. That's kind of, yeah. I feel like we got there. That was the achievement by just obviously multiple paths. You understand. You get what's happening.
Are you finished? You've been talking forever.
We're done, yes.
And?
Can I have a cookie now? Excellent question. Asking the most important question, Sarah.
So
we've decided to
you're in
eat her
charge now, I'm guessing.
For the moment, but it appears we're about to have a repeat of what happened in Hades.
What does that mean?
It means we are disbanding the chorus. Not only that, we have decided to reveal ourselves to the mortal
Okay,
world.
now, let's not get crazy.
Tell everyone what we really are? Isn't that risky?
It won't be right away, so those who are too fearful can go into hiding. But it's time. No more laws, no more secrets.
That Sarah put it almost the exact same way I would. Like, that actually feels like perhaps an extreme overcorrection. Like, that... I feel like we didn't discuss that, and that feels like a whole big lot. Like a big, tall, very much. No, yeah, no more laws. It's like, okay, maybe the concept that we were too strict on our laws doesn't need to be corrected by abolishing all laws completely. I don't know that at any point I indicated that the best path forward was pure anarchy. You all agree to this?
You all agree to this? No argument?
Oh, we don't do anything without argument, dearest.
Wasn't it you, Grace, who said we should stop living in the past?
Well, sure, but I didn't think you were listening.
What can I say?
I think those
I'm
are
trying
very
something
different.
Plus, this is what Calliope was fighting for.
Calliope would definitely approve.
So, anarchy, you're sure about that?
If there's no chorus, does that mean idols just do whatever they want?
As much as anyone can.
What about Medusa? I hate to think what she's gonna do.
Eat a bunch of
Medusa
folks.
has offered to live in the reliquary. Frankly, I think she's relieved.
As for the rest of us, we'll be subject to mortal authorities and their laws.
I'm a little unclear on
These
exactly how that works in the
authorities.
present, to be honest.
Do you think we could ask them about Hephaestus?
Yes. Yes, I imagine we could.
And, okay, are y'all insane? Like, so, I don't know that it was made, like, totally clear, or maybe I missed it or forgot or something. Like, I get that, like, Hephaestus went to the mortals in World War II and allegedly developed the atomic bomb to end the Second World War, and that somehow subsequently led to the release of Aphrodite. I understand that much. But, like, I don't know that the version of the song I got made it clear that like they also then did anything and like locked up Hephaestus, but like even assuming something like that is the case to give context to what we're talking about here, what on earth makes you think that like, attention mortals, the Greek gods are real? What Hephaestus doing? It says, interesting. In mine, Medusa lived with Persephone. That's weird. I wonder, it's not clear to me what change makes that happen. Maybe because technically the game reads me as closest to Persephone, it doesn't allow that, or something peculiar? Another option, she works with the military as an assassin. That's nuts. That's like a completely... What's happening in the resolution of this game? Like, it feels like they just handed this game off to like a completely different set of writers or something. Yikes forever, dude. So y'all are eating Athena, right? That's what you're doing?
What about Athena? She can't be okay with this.
She won't fight it. She said, and I quote, "Whatever your decision, I will abide by it."
That's a switch.
Fight's just not in her anymore. She was so certain she was doing the right thing.
If only anyone could have intervened.
Now that she's failed.
Well, we'll see how long this new Athena lasts.
In mine, she becomes a cab driver. I feel like Demolition's like making fun of me and stuff. Feels like it's fake. It's so crazy. Listen, I'll use the blue one. I took the skill point for a reason, I presume.
I have a few thoughts as to how you could go about revealing yourselves.
Oh?
Oh, baby.
If there's time, we could prepare a campaign.
Buy Earth dinner first.
You make it sound like preparing for battle.
No, it's like
it
politics.
is, kinda.
Dude.
The idols would be stars before you know it. If you're famous enough, there's only so much that can be done to you.
Now that is a
what a horrible lesson.
Indeed.
What a grim fable
like
this is after
alone,
all.
With Grace.
It's a play on the Iron Horses joke from earlier.
Well, you did it, Grace. The trial has come and gone, and you're still standing.
Better than I ever did. Buy me 3 p.m. dinner first. The seance of Blake Manor will live on forever. Somewhere Zacula just cringed, and you know it. You all know it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I've played this like whole story mostly green, but like I gotta be honest. I feel like everyone was so stupid about the prophecy that like I feel like the only thing that I, the human being known as Vasco da Gamer, could do here is realistically choose. I fulfilled the prophecy, you bunch of idiots.
And fulfilled the prophecy while I was at it.
You made it seem so hard.
Haven't we prevented it?
No,
I'm the last
idiot.
muse. It was my trial. Now what's happening to the idols because of it?
We're no longer continuing. Not as we were. Yes,
you're so stupid. You're all so stupid.
Athena couldn't conceive of a change that didn't mean death for the idols.
Wink.
But here we are.
We left things at an awkward point, didn't we? Between us, I mean.
No, I feel like it's super cool and normal. Oh shoot, game's making me choose. What a horrible night for a curse. Which says, if you give Grace the underworld, there's a small, slim way to also give her Olympus. Boy, that sure seems like folly. That feels like creating like a second like Diet Athena situation. I don't know. I'm torn only because I'm so apathetic. Like I just like it. I mean, like I simply could have not tried to like choose every romance option, awaiting like the aspirational point in the story where like one of them would feel more compelling. But it does kind of feel like I got locked in early with that choice just at the club of who to go with. I don't think that's really true, but it kind of feels that way. If you don't, you'll break Sarah's heart. Her response, I'm okay, just hungry. You deserve a cookie, I think. Hungry for Persephone. Gosh. I think it'd be silly to be single. You sound like whoever wrote the 3rd season of Shrinking. And if you'd like, I could go on such an unbelievable rant about the 3-season arc of the TV show Shrinking. My God, I have such unbelievably intense emotions about that stupid sitcom. Your parents loved that show. It used to be good, and now it's so infuriating. Like, oh my God. We'll save it. We'll see if people want to talk about it, we'll talk about it, but like it would definitely involve some amount of spoiler. I like that she's like, where were we? And we just be like friends. I mean, so here's the thing. I'm actually inclined to say let's be friends for specifically one reason. Like, largely I don't care. And like normally I'll just defer to chat, but there's so many different endings. I think it's like exceptionally unlikely for someone to reach the end of the game and choose no romantic option. I feel like it will give the most distinct gameplay experience. And I'm gonna cling to that as being a signature of whatever the heck this has been in totality.
I guess we did, yeah.
And now? Ah.
We could be friends, if that's something you do.
All right. Let's try that then.
And then they kiss to be like super confusing.
Music, Grace?
Always.
Is that not what friends do? I mean, we don't have that Act 3 2 months later. Guys, I think that's called an epilogue. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about epilogue? It's this brand new concept. I think it might technically be Greek in origin, to be honest with you.
Of course you're both here. In my apartment. Why wouldn't you be?
We were waiting for you.
How does it feel to be the idol spokesperson appearing on every newscast, reputable and otherwise?
I'm exhausted.
The Oracle has been keenly following your progress.
Keen mention.
Every appearance, every interview. She may
The
be
bridge
your
has been
biggest
updated.
fan.
Lol.
The way she talks, you'd think she never doubted who you were.
Well, at least she's been of great help to your online campaign.
Everyone here has also been busy. Would you like to hear the latest?
Nah. Yeah, sure. Hey, let's talk about Eros. Everyone's favorite Eros. I love this Stegosaurus. Very cool. Weird fridge. We moved weird over to the side, but we maintained weird and fridge, which is a relief. So here's like a sad fact about my move to Florida. I had like a collection, like a small collection of one-piece fridge magnets that my friend from high school got me like a long time ago. And somehow like all but one of them made it through the move intact, and I only lost my favorite one. And like I like only like recently really like thought about it. I was like, can I find them? Can I replace them? Anyway, let's ask about Aphrodite and Eros.
Is there any word yet on Aphrodite and Eros? They left the city a while ago.
Eros sent word, yes. Aphrodite has started a spiritual retreat in the mountains?
Let's call it a cult.
Call it a trauma center? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Helping her. Being the goddess of love to the world once more has at last brought her peace.
I thought for sure they'd go into hiding. Aphrodite fears mortals more than any other idol, doesn't she?
Hence why she surrounded herself with only those who shower her with adoration.
Oh my God.
As I recall, sister,
no,
you also headed several cults across the centuries.
The Eleusinian mysteries weren't about shoring up my ego, Apollo.
What about Venus? Did she go with them?
The mortal? I don't believe so. Last I heard, she opened a gallery. Aphrodite's become her patron.
Venus has painted most of the idols. I sat for her last week, in fact. It's made her rather successful.
There's something really funny about like this is the option when like the player like did not enjoy their experience. You ask about like one, you're like, I'm done with this. Like I'm tired of this drivel. Let's ask about Apollo, which is a weird thing to do because he's right here.
What about you, Apollo? Still planning on leaving the city?
Soon, I think. All the attention on the idols is proving rather taxing.
Ooh, running away again, brother.
I suppose you could say that. Really, I just came by to see Grace and apologize one last time.
I told you you don't need to keep doing that.
Not gonna stop me.
Yes, well, I'm glad things worked out as they did. You'll all be fine without me.
I feel like this dude missed the point.
One day you will learn, brother. Not today, but someday.
I feel like a lot of us took the wrong message away from this video game, but that's fine. Ask about Persephone.
How about you, Persephone? Any big changes?
Not unless you count my many trips to Hades. No. It's business as always.
Trips to Hades?
Hang out with her dead
I
girlfriend?
am no longer its queen, but I am still the most familiar with its workings. And Hades is changing. Perhaps it's the mere fact that the mortal world is aware of us.
Yeah, presumably you kind of imply that's how that works.
Or something else is stirring.
Is this something we should be concerned about, sister?
Not yet. I'll let you know. As for everything else, the club continues, more popular
Why are you
than
still
ever.
running the club? Is so
the
stupid.
world turns. What more is there to say?
Ask about Athena.
Has anyone heard about Athena? It's been a while.
I have. She left the city, as she felt uncomfortable with all the attention on the idols.
Terrified, you mean?
It was more that mortals expected the goddess of wisdom to have sage advice, and she no longer trusts her judgment.
I mean, there's
No
a more
surprise there.
graceful, subtle way to handle all
You don't
this.
still worry about her, brother. After all she's done?
I think of her off in the far north, living alone in the wilderness, punishing herself until the end of her days. I know it's her own choosing, but it seems like such a waste.
I really feel like you all learned the wrong lessons, gang. Like it's a little frustrating. It's fine. Hey, Hermes, what up with Hermes?
Is Hermes still around? I'm surprised they're not here with the rest of you.
We've barely seen them of late.
Hermes has been busy. They've become a social media darling, or so the Oracle tells me.
The truly amusing part is that they're not even trying to be famous. They simply can't help it.
Hermes likes to people please, it's true.
Hopefully it won't backfire on them. Fame is a double-edged sword.
I've heard that fame is a
Hermes
gun.
lives a
Tying
charmed
into the
life.
stupid story
Never
from
fear.
earlier.
Well, it's odd seeing their face on so many billboards, but I agree. Let Hermes have their fun.
Okay, do y'all understand how billboards work? What is the billboard advertising? Sarah says, God, this is so tiresome. Sarah, I so desperately want I want you to elaborate on that. I want you to tell me I want you to elaborate on your emotions. Let's listen about Pan.
What about Pan? I haven't seen him since the trial.
No one's seen him.
Shouldn't we be worried? It is Pan, and what he does will reflect on us all.
Pan is harmless.
Mostly harmless.
As far as I can tell, he did regret his involvement in Calliope's death. He'll lay low. At least for a time.
And then he'll ruin
He'll
everything
be
for all
back
of us.
with some new scheme to make us all groan.
You're not wrong.
Angry face on the shopping list. Yeah, that's pretty good. And oh yeah, you're right. Pointing at Owl. That's a choice. Ask about Kate and Asterion.
What about Hecate and Asterion? Are they still at the reliquary?
Hecate leave the reliquary? I'd sooner believe the sun would go out.
It doesn't hurt that they seem enraptured with each other's company.
Asterion is all Hecate is willing to discuss. Do I need to know every detail of his sexual prowess?
Yeah, probably. Take some notes.
Didn't Hecate say it is written that she and the Minotaur would eventually
That was
break
implied.
up?
Well, eventually, for Hecate could be centuries from now.
In the meantime, she gushes about her new boyfriend like a schoolgirl.
You should hear Asterion then. His gushing puts hers to shame. I'm happy for them both.
Okay, Sarah's response, blah, blah, blah. Fame is so hard for people, blah, blah, blah. We are all stereotypes, blah, 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 narration. That is actually wonderfully succinct and correct. In my estimation, I agree and agree.
And Medusa? I take it she's no longer at the reliquary.
She was. For a few months.
There was an incident involving
Isn't
Hecate's
this only a few
new
months later?
cat.
Oh no.
Medusa was beside herself with apologies, but needless to say, she moved on rather quickly. We're not certain where.
Meaning what? Medusa
That's so
is
needlessly
roaming the
messed
streets,
up. That's a
doing whatever
really
she likes?
stupid slant for that character.
Not quite.
Medusa believed she might not be able to control her appetite, so she asked us to put her in contact with the mortal government. They took her somewhere. It was her decision.
They made her into one of those like laser pointer dinosaurs.
Even suggested we might see Hephaestus again.
Aphrodite's husband? He's alive?
So it appears. Who knows what he's been doing for the mortals since the war, but it would raise all our spirits to see him again.
That's all the TV there is, I guess.
I still can't believe it's all over.
Oh, it's scarcely over, Grace. Now that you've toppled the castle, it's barely.
I didn't talk. You guys
begun.
called for anarchy.
No,
that wasn't
didn't
my
do
job.
On the contrary, you absolutely did.
False.
Perhaps we should leave you alone, Grace. You must be tired.
Or
from your
hear me
trip.
out. Threesome. Just saying. Don't be mad. There's dinner in the fridge. The weird fridge.
This is it, huh? Like we won't see each other for a long time.
No. Not like this. You're right.
Wait, I can't see weird fridge. Wait, the fridge is different in the background. Why is this so soft? This is so good. The vibe is so weird.
Stormy skies clear, soft breeze blow.
The ocean lies calm, stars are out.
Did our eyes glow at all before this? Is that the only time in the game that doesn't happen before the singing starts? Or did I just miss it?
Our paths, I've no doubt.
Where will we
Missed it? Okay.
end up with different routes?
Paper
A
route.
fresh coat of paint, sails unfurled, ready to go.
McLeod, as you said, did I miss it? I would never. That something like that could never happen while a streamer is live streaming.
Lost in
But wait, wouldn't that also be too late? Didn't I ask that when the song had already started?
parting mists of gray.
Like, it would still be weird, is my point. Not that I didn't do something stupid. I like that the hat is here. I kind of thought it was weird she didn't wear it to the trial.
Everything has changed. Everything.
You survived against all odds. Your heart was always in the right place. Everything changed. So I think that means I chose more green options than not. I guess it's possible to actually die as a takeaway from that. I'm not really sure. Is everything changed unless you got to that particular musical number that, like, isn't guaranteed? the no romance option. Oh, interesting. That's maybe why it's so somber, I guess? I don't know. It's kind of hard to, Oh, it's interesting. Troy Baker did the, voice direction. That's interesting. I didn't know he, like, did that sort of thing, but I guess that tracks. There's a sadder version if you pushed everyone away and never picked romance. That's... Man, don't get me started on Shrinking. Shrinking is, like, so... And I have to say this, coming from a place of, like, I'm, like, such a, like, vanilla, heteronormative, like, pro-coupling, monogamy kind of guy, and it's, like, so, like, toxically romance is, like, everything. And it takes a lot for me to say that, and, like, I really feel like that show, like... that unpleasant noise as much as you will get for now. I gotta say... Did you get the friendship option, though? Sure, yeah, whatever. I don't know. So, here's my 2 cents on this. I like this game. It's a good game. I think it's a little difficult to evaluate a game like this in aggregate because of the different possibilities. It's a little... You know that I became a little fixated on my criticisms of Rosewater throughout last year, or, you know, if you watch regularly, you may have clocked that. I feel like I would expect that, but maybe you didn't. That's also fine. So, like, Rosewater was, like, an adventure game that, like, had some... like branching options, and I ended up unintentionally having like a pretty bad time with it. Like, it wasn't totally clear to me like what some of the ramifications of some of the choices I made were, and they ended up like mattering a lot. And so like I retroactively ended up being like pretty frustrated with the fact that, like, the story ended up bad without me trying to make it bad. And so, like, I think that had, like, that pretty strongly colored my impression of the game. And, like, my reflection on that has, like, I think given me a better perspective for responding to a game like this. I do think that this is a good game. I don't think I had, like a perfect experience playing it. But what I am going to say, without the benefit of the knowledge of everything that's possible in it, is that, like, I am not a big fan of the Aphrodite inclusion in Act 2. Like, I feel like it's a bit of an albatross on what the rest of... Like, so, like, I was talking earlier about how I felt like the game isn't a good mystery, but is effective at being sort of, like, musical genre fiction, I guess, is like a concise way of putting it. Like, I think it's cool that it's like a musical that like imagines this like really specific version of like Greek mythology, and I think like that is effective. I don't think that they laid sufficient groundwork to delve into that really heavy material, and like maybe partially based on my choices, I didn't necessarily like love just the way that scene played out, and it totally could be different and better and whatever with the other choices. I like most of the rest of the game other than that. Like, that's really like a big part of like what kind of felt like a drag to me. And like, it's, again, it's not that like I thought like, wow, it was distasteful, or wow, like it doesn't belong. Like, I think it is a story that's like well serviced by the world that was created here, but like didn't feel like it belonged in the specific story that the game was telling. It felt like it was like DLC or a spin-off or fan fiction or something. It felt like it felt appropriate for the world but not the game. But like everything that happens after the trial, and like again, this could be like totally specific to the outcome I had and the choices I made. Everything that followed after the trial, I thought kind of stunk. Like, I feel like we made it, we practically nailed the landing and then just like broke our ankle and fell on our face. Like, I'm largely in agreement with Sarah in the sense that, like, just, like, the whole anarchy thing, like, threw me for an absolute loop-de-loop. Like, it felt like that hadn't been set up, like, at all. And that's such, like, a crazy, like, strong choice. And it, like, really, like, spins the epilogue in, like, a really specific way that, like, I didn't find satisfying and I didn't think that we had built to. And it just felt, like, super weird to me. And, like, I could totally understand people enjoying that, but, like, again, based on, like, the outcome I had, it, like, just felt, like, wild. Like, I feel like I made it clear that, like, my sense was, like, I'm not sure whether or not Athena should continue to run the new guard, but I think if we make her aware that change needs to happen, and if the idols all start, like, communicating and cooperating, then, like, we can make the world a better place. And, like, I can even understand an argument where, like, there's a sense of responsibility, and, like, the fact that the idols are so listless is maybe caused by the fact that they're not working for humanity. Like, I felt like Aphrodite's epilogue worked the best in that way, where it gave some justification for why. But at the same time, I still very strongly feel as though, like, the game didn't, like, set that up as, like, something we were building towards. Like, that was, like, an end goal of, like, what anyone in the Pantheon, like, wanted. So, like, it was just, like, completely out of, like, left field that was, like, the crux of, like, the entire ending of the game. It was, like, wild. So, like, I don't know. I like this a lot. I appreciate the recommendation by Demolition, and also the fact that Demolition gifted it to me, and I hope that Sarah enjoys her time making all the characters kiss. Well deserved. But, like, for me, I think I give this game, like my experience, my personal grade on the experience, like, kind of like a B+. It's got a lot of good. I'll say that, like, not every song that I experienced was, like, particularly to my musical taste, but, like, I think a game like this is sort of at the mercy of that risk, right? Because, like, you're not choosing to make the song good, you're choosing, like, a story outcome, which is a really interesting idea. But, like, you know, other than that and the stuff I've already said, like, it's great. It's a great idea. I thought that, like, it was mostly well executed. I definitely have a couple of gripes. They may or may not be in the places where you expect them to be, but, like, I feel like I've communicated them and I feel pretty good about them, and there's an awful lot of backers to this game, it turns out. I do like to try and let the credits run for most games if I didn't, like, really hate them. In, you know, respect to the efforts of the people who made them. But, you know, the raincoats of the world, I'm like, no, get out of here. Just shut up. Not that they didn't work hard, but, like, that game knows what it did. But there's, like, a lot of great ideas in here. Like, it in some ways, it's almost a shame to me that, like, it isn't, like, a larger world. But, like, I don't think that it would flow... Close the game and hope it doesn't break anything. Okay, cool. Like, just, like, I guess my point is, like, I feel like the whole idol and the eidolons and the division of the passing of the torch and all that stuff, like, creates, like, a fairly unique and really interesting take on Greek mythology in particular, and, like, I think could be the basis of, like, other cool stories. And I actually think it's, like, kind of a shame in the sense that, like, I think a sequel would be, like, profoundly unsatisfying because of the way they chose to end the game with, like, the drastic, like, alteration of what that world is and what it means. No, I'm not sure that anyone ever had intention of doing that. And frankly, like, they might be able to come up with a way to make that interesting. I don't know exactly what kind of story you would focus on, but, like, it's just, like, I guess my point is, like, I really like the world they presented, and I think perhaps part of the reason why I found that ending unsatisfying is that it, like, completely threw it in the magical dumpster, if you understand my meaning. But yeah, I mean, I think that encompasses my feelings. Any other thoughts anyone wants to share? Were there other observations about alternate paths or anything that you wanted to talk about, Demolition? That there's going to be a 2 due to so much work being needed for the game. I could certainly imagine that. Have you like heard or read anything where like they talked about like we love doing this, but also it kind of sucked? Because like that seems like valid. It seems like a lot of work, especially like multiple endings, like branching paths, especially orchestrating the music to work the way that it did seems like absurdly difficult. Everyone loved it, but so many recordings per game. I don't mean per game, just like the sheer volume of recordings to cover all the concepts. Because like it's a lot. It's an awful lot. Clear plot points, but like so much. Yeah. And like I don't know, it's a shame. Yeah, I mentioned this a little bit in the second act, but like I do like the world and the story they put together, and it's a shame that like some of it, and I understand that it's like optional and you could just like not slog through it, but it's a shame that like some of that stuff, like the Zeus backstory, is like only in like this belabored like conversation with Persephone in like dead silence, that like not that it necessarily needed to be a musical number, but that it's like not that it doesn't come out like organically as part of the story. It feels like maybe oversight is too strong a word, but like a little disappointing, you know? Each song has 70 variations minimum. That's quite a lot of variations. Persephone Clubwood is like 3 to the 17th power. That might... I'm gonna level with you, Demolition. That might be too many options. That might be too many cooks. They might have overcooked that one. It's possible that Sora should have stopped whoever the character is who's cooking in the let him cook meme with Woody from Toy Story. I think that's Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know. On top of that, each song feeds into the trial. I'll say this, and this is like a personal sentiment, and I get that this probably isn't a common experience. I was a little disappointed that like only Persephone sort of backed us in the trial. Like I had kind of like, again, my vibe was like it felt like everyone should come together was like the whole really obvious solution. And so like I kind of thought that like I guess I'd hoped maybe that like by not locking in with one of the romantic options that like everyone would sort of support me, or maybe like not even necessarily reliant on romantic options at all, but just the fact that like I felt like I'd had a pretty good functional relationship with those characters, that like Pan and Apollo would have like chimed in or whatever. Personally dislike the trials. Yeah, yours had weird skipping. In every video I saw in my playthrough, there were like 3-ish choices for people. You mean like that bit toward the end where you got to where like I chose Asterion, like people had more choices or something? I didn't think I'd pissed off enough people for that to be like you only picked Asterion. No, I also picked Hermes. I did pick Hermes. But then Hermes had the weird like audio skipping. Think it's a bug. Yeah. It frankly is pretty impressive considering the scope of what they did. That might be the only like true bug. Although I swear there were a couple times where like I don't know if I was hallucinating or something, but there were like 2 or 3 times, I think all in Act 2, where like I felt like I was noticing like Grace's like character asset kind of like going transparent in times where it like clearly wasn't intentional to the story. But like I will say that I did get the sense that like that cutoff was abrupt, and I don't know if it was like maybe there's something I mean, frankly, both things kind of suggest that maybe there's something wrong with Hermes specifically, that Hermes audio came out weird, and that like that cut off without getting a third choice or whatever. Like maybe Hermes in particular is kind of bugged. But like I did get the sense that that was like abrupt and maybe not necessarily intentional. Like there was like a weird like visual transition that like also felt like it wasn't maybe supposed to happen. Um, Lighthouse being read and those musical instrument choices were basically unique to you. I mean, it's one of those interesting things, right? Like I actually just saw someone like post. I forget what exactly what. No, I think what they said was so like a commander deck in Magic the Gathering has like 99 cards that you shuffle. Like you set one card out of your 100 aside. And like someone on the Magic subreddit, like just today, I think, posted like there are more variations to shuffling a single commander deck than there are stars in the universe or whatever. Um, and so like I feel like something similar can be said about the exact outcomes of like a game like this, especially considering like the Persephone Club thing alone, you know? Yeah, it's like it's similar to like a huge number just for like a 52 card playing deck. Um, so like yeah, and you know like I leaned into that a little bit toward the end where I was like, I don't strongly care about this romance option. I accidentally shackled myself to Persephone, which was like maybe the worst thing I could do for my interest in love interest. But like yeah, I don't know, I thought it'd be interesting to see how unique that outcome is, and like frankly it's like a really mild bummer just because like I don't think that they accounted for an interesting outcome if you didn't choose romance, which that actually legitimately seems like an oversight because it's not exactly as though this was billed as like a dating sim. So like I don't think that there's necessarily an obvious expectation that you should definitely like one of these like characters who, if we're being honest, the narrative kind of frames them all as being like a little bit untrustworthy and or duplicitous, which is like not like a sound basis for a relationship. It's interesting. Some choices were made there. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good experience. I'm glad I got around to playing it. I did have interest in playing it. Again, I appreciate Demolition gifting it. This is cool. I hope you all had a good time. Before we wrap up, of course, somewhere in the room, I and among my plush friends, I have hidden some number of secret Squirtles. If you locate a Squirtle hidden among the plush friends in this way, it will be an omen of good luck for you in the coming days. So I encourage you to look around, see if you can figure out where a Squirtle might be hiding, and call them out. Because who can't use some good luck these days? Also, I don't know. When I was like messing around, like I got a bunch of like sitting cuties out. I feel like I might just have like a grand detagging. The U.S. Pokemon Center tags are garbage. They're enormous and boring, and they get in the way. And I feel like I don't feel like I need to like return them or anything. So maybe just like just finally go through and cut the tags off at least them, and then I don't have to worry about like all these dangling tags. It's ridiculous. Yes, there goes the Lowland Vulpix. Thank you. I did remember that. I made a mental note. Okay, Carlos, Lowland Vulpix, Flareon Force Field. That sounds like a political campaign as well. Wait, no, hold on. Sarah's thinking, processing. I'm curious. What is Sarah thinking? Fox. Now, Funny Godmother, I might need you to be more specific because I got 2 Squishmallow Fox. This one is new, and I got Vulpix, who I assume you would refer to as Vulpix. Oh, one with the sword, also Fox. Valid. Okay. So Sarah guesses Vulpix. We got Spiel, we got New Fox, we have Tunic Fox, and we have Pokeball. I guess we have both Vulpix, yeah? Okay. So, where do we begin? Let's start with the Pokeball, because I want you all to I want you to soak in the Sitting Cuties Teddy Ursa And I really appreciated, I think my mom had the same reaction to this one that I did. Where like Teddiursa isn't like my like top favorite Pokemon, but I do like Teddiursa. I got really attached to the Teddiursa from the anime. I thought that story was really fun. And also he's just like a cute little guy. But like he's just perfect. He's like so good. He's got just like a perfect little smile and face. And so like I asked for this for Easter. I give my mom like a list of sitting cuties I would like because I'm trying to be conscious of plush space right now. And like when I like took it out, I was like, "Isn't this one so good?" I'm like, "It is, right? Like this one is so good." Is that Tunic from the game? Yeah, Tunic Fox is from the game Tunic, which is why I call him Tunic Fox. I don't actually know if he canonically has a name other than Tunic. But yeah, so inside the Pokeball is this Eevee that I can't normally hide behind anything because its ears are too big. But I sort of snuck him in the Pokeball, which is fun. I agree with the untagging, the Japan tag. Yeah, like if like the US center tags were like the Japan tags, which are like small and stylish and like not a huge obstruction, I might like keep them. But like I've really kind of grown wary of like the enormous, boring Pokemon center tags that like in some cases make it like hard to get the city cuties to sit. It's very silly. So Demolition pointed out Spheal. I feel like Demolition had an awakening. I think Demolition, correct me if I'm wrong, is like Spheal like your new favorite Pokemon? If so, like you should consider getting the comically large Spheal. It's very fun. Spheal's best. Good. I'm glad. This makes me happy. So hiding behind Flareon, I moved one of the baskets from yesterday, and I put this very handsome fox that you might know as Benjamin the Fox from the game Little Misfortune, which if you haven't already played Little Misfortune, you should because it's amazing. There's a Blue Sky account that only posts Spheal. That's very good. That's a good account. Benny. Do you think? Well, it's actually funny because like Benjamin the Fox has like spiritual afterlife connections too. You think he has any connection to Benny the afterlife ghost from Hades? Parentheses the location. Okay, what else we got? I'm making this take forever. We got I guess we'll start with Tunic Fox. Let's have a good look at Tunic Fox. His tag does just kind of say Tunic on it, and then like the weird runic writing from the game Tunic. He's very good. I think he's like specifically styled to look like Link from Legend of Zelda. It may just be an homage, but I feel like it's really intentional that he like look like that. But he's very good. Katune sent me this guy. Squirtle, by the way. He had a little Squirtle tucked under his tail. It's really difficult to hide anything with this guy. His tail's like enormous, and like if you mess with it, it throws him off balance. Also, both Vulpixes have Squirtles of their own. Here's the little. This is the one I got from the Christmas market, and this is the one I got on the day that I went to San Diego to see like my favorite concert experience ever. It was a really good, memorable day. It's my favorite day. So that's a very memorable Squirtle. And also, this new fox who has the secret compartment also has the secret Squirtle. Because as some of you seem to have possibly surmised, with the introduction of this new Easter fox, I realized I have so many foxes I could just do foxes now, which is fun. Theme is foxes. You got it. Oh, that's funny. Demolition says, I really want Concierge Season 3. It's the best Pokemon media. My sister says it's like the one piece my company makes. Can't help you. Yeah. Life really do be tough like that sometimes, right? it's like the one thing you don't have control over that like you need the most control over. Anyway, that's been our run through of Stray Gods. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to. Like I said yesterday, I think my plan is. I think I'm gonna bust out Techno Babylon. It's been in my library for a minute. Kind of been jonesing to do like a legitimate, like we did some Nelly Kudala, which is definitely a point and click adventure game. It's like a little offbeat. Like I kind of want to like a classic traditional point and click adventure game. I haven't done a lot of those this year. I mean last year like a ton of new ones came out, so we leaned really heavily on it, but like that's one I've kind of wanted to play for a while, and like I think the mood and the time is right, so I think we'll do that next Friday. I'll consider other options for Saturday. I've never actually been totally clear if people sort of like the segregating like game to individual day. I think in some cases it helps people schedule if they can't make all the streams to like prioritize one over the other. But like the VODs are always available, so I don't know. I'll give it some thought. Maybe I'll like put something on Discord. If you have any suggestions, we got a whole channel for that. It's the stream bag. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. That may be next week, that may be distantly in the future. In either case, in the meantime, take care of yourselves and remember that you are clawsome.